There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
following statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
And all the fantastic people. I just had a chicken sandwich here. What's going on? What are you telling me? What's going on? Oh, you were good? Oh, okay. All right. Oh, we were muted. Oh, okay. So good afternoon, all. Coming to you live from Hialeah Park. Hopefully we're all clear now. I feel good. I just had a bag of chicken sandwich that they have here, and that bread is so good, bro. And then the sauteed tomatoes. Oh, you get the gaming action out here at Hialeah Park. Yeah, we're in the second floor poker room, which, of course, you can enjoy all the poker action. The ladies will bring you food and drinks while you're there. Okay, so it's cool. And I just had that chicken sandwich. It's so delicious, man. So delicious. I think I ate it in a record 5 minutes. All right, which is a beautiful thing. All right. Anyway, so we got a lot of things going on. Robert Jones is going to join us at 3 o'clock, the Dolphins offensive guard, who has done a phenomenal job for the Dolphins. I'm really looking forward to that conversation because I think it's a really great story. And I think Robert's story is just going to get better, because I think he's just scratching the surface. This young man really hasn't been at this for a long time. So we'll get to that. We'll talk to him at 3 o'clock. Alan Poupart will join us at 4:30. Andy Behrens is also going to join us from Yahoo Sports. He'll join us sometime in the afternoon. He's traveling, so we're trying to get him down to a certain time, but he'll join us sometime this afternoon. Cavs, unfortunately, beat the Heat last night, 104-100. The Heat just continues to struggle from three-point range, 27% yesterday, and that's just not going to cut it. And it's rough, man, rough for the Heat. It's a 2-point team in a 3-point world is really difficult, and that's why the Miami Heat are struggling this year because they just don't have enough 3-point shooters. And basketball has changed, man. As an old man, if this was the 90s, that team would be fine. They would be one of the elite teams in the league. You know what I'm saying? But it's a different world now, and they've got to find a way to get all these guys on track and shoot well from the outside. The Panthers are off tonight. Friday, they take on Chicago at the FLA Live Arena. They have won 2 in a row now. So maybe they can start to get things, going in the right direction there. Marlins are off today. Tomorrow they'll Tomorrow they'll take on the Nationals in spring training, and they are struggling. They are 1-9. Dolphins, Bradley Chubb got his contract restructured, so they freed up a bunch of cap space. $14.65 million of cap space they freed up. So that's good stuff for the Dolphins, and they'll do that, and they'll get a couple of other guys to, restructure their deals and guarantee some of their money up front, and then they'll backload that stuff, and that will give them the flexibility that they need. That's one thing. Remember, the Dolphins kind of reset their cap from a couple of years ago when they made the transition to Brian Flores in that first year in 2019. They took a lot of cap hits there. So they don't really have to deal with a lot of that stuff right now. That's the good thing, which I think will give them a lot of flexibility over the next couple of years as they try to make that run before they have to give Tua a big-time contract, because then, of course, it becomes a bigger challenge for teams once you're paying your quarterback, that salary. And by the way, can the stupid stories stop already? We got two former Patriot quarterbacks out there throwing crap like, well, no, Tom Brady still could come to Miami. Tom Brady might be coming to Miami to vacation, to live, to hang out with his daughter and his wife and all that. I don't know why people want to literally call Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel liars. Those guys aren't liars. They're not going to tell you a bold-faced lie to your face. They're just not going to do that. That's not been their track record. Now, could they withhold some information, stay vague on things, so that way they don't have to make some kind of a commitment? Of course they could do that. That's not what they've done. The entire time, Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel have told you that they are committed to Tua. Okay? I told you a couple days right after the season ended, after the Buffalo game. I told you the plan was Tua from the get-go. That's the story we broke already almost 2 months ago now. And I'm sticking to the information I got. They're not moving on from Tua. They've got a plan in place. And I believe, knowing Tua the way he is, the dude's a maniac. He's a warrior. He's going to do whatever he has to do to become a terrific player, right? Wait till you hear Robert Jones. That's all you've ever heard from him. Same kind of attitude, like, I'm going to do whatever it takes, right? I believe Tua's going to figure things out this year. And I think he's going to figure out, hey, man, I got to, get rid of the ball a little faster. I got to take care of my body a little bit more, and it'll be fine. There were no injuries this year. It was all about the head trauma stuff. So all he has to do now is get rid of the ball a little faster. Don't hold on to it. I think he's going to be focused. That's why he's taking jiu-jitsu. This is the kind of professional, and this goes for if you're an art teacher, if you're a policeman, if you're a lawyer, whatever it is, if you're an athlete, you're a professional, right? Part of being a professional is to do your best because you're either being paid or you have a high expectation of yourself, right? And you have a high standard that you hold. That's what this dude is cut from. And I just, forget that I'm a Dolphins fan. Forget that I'm rooting for Tua or rooting for the Dolphins. Put all that bullshit aside, okay? Look at the human being, okay? If we're talking about a slacker, then that's different. If we're talking about somebody that doesn't try, well, then, yeah, we can be, oh, man, I don't know if he's going to get it done. I don't know if he's going to figure it out, all those kind of things. We can question it. But a dude like Tua, who's maniacal about being great, like a lot of awesome players are, that they're maniacal about being great, just like those of you out there. I don't care if you're a janitor, you're maniacal about doing your job right, or you're a airline stewardess, or you're a pilot, or you're a fireman, or you're a parent. When you take pride in what you do it at a high level. It doesn't matter what the hell you do. And so all these fudge stories that continue to come out about Tua and that the Dolphins are looking for, that stuff passed. That was the owners going after Brady, and that was the former coach that was going after Watson. At no point did Grier and company ever tell you that they wanted to go after the quarterback. They just had to kind of go by the other people that were around them trying to do other moves. And what's Chris Grier going to do? He already had his battle with the head coach. The last head coach wanted Jordan Love. He lost that battle. The guys ended up taking Tua. Okay? You're not going to stop the owner. So if one of the owners wants to go after Brady last year, what are you going to do? You're just an employee at that point. But Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel have never been liars. And that's basically what people continue to do. They continue to call them liars. And that's just not right, dude. That's just not right. Because you can't do that to someone that doesn't have a track record of doing that. Anyway, all right. Let's get it going. Let's get it ready. Let's bring them aboard. Let's bring Robert Jones on. I think he is ready to go. Told you at 3:00 that we would have Robert Jones on, guard for the Miami Dolphins, ready to go. Let's bring him aboard here, Sean. Let's see if he is ready. Robert, how you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Yes, sir. What about yourself?
I'm at a casino doing a sports talk show. Okay, baby. Life is good, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. Can't beat it.
Right, exactly. We're getting paid to talk sports. We're getting paid to talk to Robert Jones. It's all good. I see you got a Dodgers hat on. So is that your baseball team, or is it just a fashion thing?
Just a fashion thing, almost Sunday sent me, some things. So, I just like to rep it.
Okay. All right. Do you have a baseball team? Are you into baseball at all?
I'm really not into baseball, but I'm into Chicago because I'm from Chicago. So,
I know that. I was going to ask if you're a Cubs or a Sox fan. I'm not sure. That's fine.
I'm a White Sox to the bone.
Okay. All right. Cool stuff. All right. I like it. Let me ask you, when you beat Chicago, was that cool for you? I mean, because you got to play in the game, you played every snap, and you walked out of there with a victory. So, did you grow up a Bears fan?
Man, really, I didn't get into football till late in my my teenage years. But
I think you only played like 8 games in high school or something like
that.
Yeah,
that was my first year playing varsity, my senior year. So but I was always a Chicago fan. So no matter what it was, the White Sox, the Cubs, the Bulls, the Hawks, everything, the Blackhawks, everything, I'm a fan of. So when we was able to play Chicago, the first game actually starting at guard in Chicago at home, man, it was amazing. So when we beat them, it was just like it was something I couldn't, I had a lot of emotions in me, but you already know how to get over that fast and get ready for the next week.
So how many of your teammates from E-Rabs do you still keep in touch with? And did any of them call you after that game?
It's a handful of guys, I still that because I went to Rockford East my senior year in high school in Rockford, Illinois. It was a handful of guys that I still talk to. I grew up in Chicago, so a lot of guys from Chicago that I grew up with, all the time. They was at the game. They came support me. My coaches from Chicago and Rockford called me, and some of them came to the game just to see me play.
That's awesome. It's so cool, man, because you become Robert, you also become an inspiration for all of them too, because they see where you're coming from, and then there's going to be youngins that are going to be in the same spot where Robert Jones was at, and they're going to wonder, well, can I do it? What if? And then they see you, and then that's an example and a piece of motivation, for younger people. So it's really this is actually really important, not just for yourself, but you're laying the groundwork for other kids too.
No, yeah, most definitely. That's my main reason. Especially in the off season, I try to go back to Chicago. When I was younger, coming up, I was part of this mentoring, ship that, it was for African American boys on the south side of Chicago. It was called Champs Mentoring, and I was one of the original Champs mentees. And I go back now because it kind of blew up now. Michael Jordan's a part of Nike. Everyone's a part of it now, trying to help it. And I go back and just talk to them guys and let them know, no matter what you're going through right now, it's so much more to life. It's all about perseverance. Just keep pushing through, and just have that light. Make sure you still got that light at the end of the tunnel. You got to, your goals that you want to, where you want to get to, but you also get them goals step by step, and just be where your feet are, because your life can really change in a year. So, just stay positive. So I just try to be the inspiration to all them guys, because, as long as I can get to one person, that's what it's all about.
Hey, man, think about it. You go from where you're at, in Chicago, and then you go to a couple of universities, and then now you find yourself, in the NFL, and you're starting against your favorite team. You're right. Anything can change. So talk to me, first of all. Walk me through your senior year. What was the watershed moment that made you play football when you weren't a football guy up until that point? What got you into football? What motivated you? What was the situation that day, that week, that month? Talk to me about what made Robert Jones a football player that moment in his senior year.
So my junior year in high school, I think it was like the beginning of my junior year, I believe, if I can remember. I went to Gary Coleman College Prep on the south side of Chicago, and I had a coach named, Hampton, David Hampton. He played in the NFL, and he saw me. He saw me coming out of detention. He was like, "Man, you a meal ticket." He was like, "You play football?" I'm like, "No, I don't play football." He was like, "You need to be playing football." So I went out there my junior year. I tried it out. And, I didn't like it, but, I played. It was like a JV. I was on a JV team. I tried it. And then I ended up quitting. And then I ended up moving to Rockford, Illinois. And I moved to Rockford, Illinois with my uncle for my senior year. And Gary Griffin, he was like, man, he was like the mastermind of everything. He told me, like, he was like, "Man, I'm going to get you to the league." And he told me, like, I played D-line. And he told me as the year was going on, because like my grades was messed up. I went from school to school and everything. It's a long story. And he was like, "I'm gonna get you JUCO offers. You're gonna go to one of the best JUCOs. You're gonna graduate a year and a half. You're gonna go Power 5, and you're gonna go to the NFL." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right, I hear you." And I'm like, because in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna get a factory job. I'm gonna make good money. I don't got no obligations, and I'm gonna just live life. So, season going on, playing. He just keep telling me. He got me meeting coaches from like New Mexico and everything. And the coach from New Mexico told me, he's like, "You graduate at a JUCO in the year and a half, we're gonna take you." And I'm like, "Okay." So boom, the end of the season, he made everything happen. So really, like, David Hampton really the one who started me playing, but Gary Griffin's the one who made basically all this come to life for real. Like, without his vision, I probably never saw it, never been where I'd be. But like, just going to Rockford, Illinois, it was just like I played because I was big enough to play and I had nothing else to do. It kept me out the house. I wasn't trying to go home after school, so I just kept playing. It was fun and it got fun, especially playing D tackle. You can just dog people all day. So yeah,
it's a beautiful thing when somebody believes in you, isn't it?
No,
right? I mean, that's all part, because we take it for granted when our moms and dads and our girlfriends or wives or whatever, it's like, well, yeah, you love me, so yeah, of course you think I'm great and you think I'm handsome and you think I'm fantastic and they have all the adjectives for you no matter what you're doing because they love you, you know what I mean?
no,
But
sure.
then when somebody else that is not your blood sees something in you that you don't even see in yourself, my man, that's pretty awesome.
No,
Because you just told me you didn't even see it in yourself. You're thinking factory job, and this guy's thinking the NFL. And now you got to sit there and think about Mr. Griffin all the time going, man, this guy's pretty awesome. He saw something in me I didn't even see in myself. That's pretty cool.
No, most definitely.
It's pretty cool, man. That is very cool. So when you get into football, what was the moment that you loved it? Because Robert, you can't play this game if you really don't have some love for it. It can't just be about the money. The pain, the struggles, the crap you got to go through, all that stuff, man. And you've gone through a whole bunch of stuff without making any money. So when was the moment you loved football? Do you remember that?
Man, honestly, I think it was going into my second year in JUCO. After my first year, I wanted to quit. I went back home. I started working in the factory job, and I moved back with my uncle in Rockford, Illinois, working the factory job. And he told me, he was like, "Man, this always gonna be here. You might as well go chase your dream." And JUCO hard already. JUCO make you want to give up. But me just working that factory job and seeing everything, and it just made me open my eyes. Like, man, I can do so much more than what I'm doing right now. And I had the opportunity to, it just really, my whole mindset was like, get my education first, get a free education. I'm like, man, I can do this and get a free education. And I could be the owner at the factory, I could be, I could be the GM or something. So, boom, I went back and I started grinding at it. Like, going to my second year, and I just grinded and I grinded. And that's when I really fell in love with the game, because I was just working so hard just, to take the next step and just develop myself and not go back to where I was just at, not go back to Chicago, not go back, to the hood Chicago and nothing like that. I think that's why I fell in love, because I knew I had an opportunity to do so much more. And especially going back home, see how everybody looked up to me. It showed me like I was a motivation to a lot of people. So I think that's what really helped me like just fall in love with the game.
Hey man, it's not I can't compare myself to you because we do two different things, but it's kind of the same thing. Ever since I got into doing this, I don't ever want to get a real job, bro. So Robert, this is 33 years of doing this now and this is the way I look at it. I don't have a real job. I haven't had a real job for 33 years. And I do work my ass off doing this, but it never feels like work because it's what I love.
So
And if you found something you love, which is football, you got to think about this, Robert. We're maybe in the 5th percentile in the world. 95% of the people feel like you did in that factory that day. I don't want to do this every day, but they have to do it because they have to survive. So, when you get to do something you love, that's the ultimate motivation.
Most definitely, it really is.
It's pretty amazing. All right, so you're you start this whole thing late, and then here's the other thing that I thought is very interesting about your life so far, and I think it's what's allowed you to succeed. So you tell me, the fact that you started late, but not only did you start late, you've gone to multiple high schools, if I understand correctly, you've gone to multiple colleges, as I understand, and now you're in the NFL. You've had to also play multiple positions, okay? And you've talked about it, how you'll play all 5 positions if you have to. Not that from what I understand, you haven't played center, but you've taken the time on your own to take a couple of snaps just to kind of stay sharp and try to, just in case, maybe I have to play center. But has this made you a tougher-minded individual? The fact that your road to the Dolphins was not a smooth one. It was one where you had to go the hard route because you started late, because you weren't playing on 7-on-7s and transitioning to a JV team and then a varsity, and everybody could see you and all those kind of things. All that stuff was gone from your life because you started in your senior year. And since then, it's been rough sledding. Has that made you a better player?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I think, exactly what you said, just growing up, like just watching my mom work hard, trying to take care of, 3 kids, and just like the struggles and everything just coming about, it always made me tough because, like, no matter what, I always saw people get everything out the mud. Nothing was given. So, especially when I started playing football, I knew I was so behind. I knew everybody already had a head start, that had years ahead of me. So that made me grind even harder than everybody else because I know people got better technique than me and stuff like that, but I'm going to go out there and play hard. I'm going to be more aggressive. So, stuff like that, me going to JUCO and everything, just had to earn everything, just made me a better player because I never look at it like I'm, that I made it. So I'm always grinding. I'm always working hard because I know I got a lot more to go.
From what I understand, you wear some Guns N' Roses attire before games. Is that the deal or something like that?
I wouldn't.
What is it? What kind of shirt it is that you wear? I'm told you wear some kind of, is it like a rock shirt or something, or is there some kind of tradition you do before games?
No, I don't be doing those. I think you probably thinking of Rob Hunt. We win all the
Rob's painting his nails and he's doing all kinds of stuff. He's a little bit out there. He's a lot edgier than most people out there. Okay, so you have because I was told that you had like some kind of pregame tradition. So you don't have any pregame traditions before you start the game?
I just I just go out there, my headphones. I do a couple of drills and everything. I just sit down and just look. Every stadium, no matter if I'm still playing at home, I just sit down and look, listen to the same song. I listen to Fantasia.
Fantasia?
What I see, it make my head, like just cool me down, and I just look and see where I'm at, and just take everything.
Okay. Okay, so you use Fantasia to kind of bring like some calmness, some levity to the situation, whereas others might use some DMX or some heavy metal or something to get jacked up. You're going the other way.
Most definitely.
All right. All right. Robert Jones, by the way, Miami Dolphins guard, joining us here on the program. So far, Robert, be honest now, who's been the toughest opponent you have faced? That when you were done that day or that quarter or that practice, I don't know where it's been, you were like, damn, dude, this guy was a load all freaking day. Give me the guy that's giving you the most trouble.
I think the best D tackle I went against so far was probably Malik Collins from Houston, Texas. Like he a good player, good savvy player. You know, he got a lot of moves and pass rush and everything. You know, he had me working all day. He most definitely one of the best D tackles in the league when it comes to pass rush.
So explain to us in layman's terms, obviously, because you're a hell of a lot smarter than we are when it comes to football and X's and O's, but in simple terms to us, because some people will tell you playing guard is like you're fighting in a phone booth, and then playing, tackle, you're kind of out in space a little bit more. So talk to me about the differences, because obviously you played a lot of tackle and now you've played a lot of guard. So what's the difference in playing guard for you? Describe to us the difference?
Oh, for me, playing guard, everything just happened way more faster. You go against stronger players inside, so you usually got to be ready to fight. Like you go right there, you got to be ready to anchor. You can't think about being slow with your hands. You got to be able to get your hands on people fast and be able to move fast, because you get some quick guys like the Arizonas in the league who can move fast. So you got to be able to redirect and good. But everything happened more faster other than like playing tackle you on the island. So you're going to get more speed on the edge, but you're going to get lighter guys also. So like, you get at tackle, go get some edge rushers, you get your hands, you might can shut them down, but they got more moves, but you're going inside. The boy's stronger. So you got to be able to, be able to control yourself and just be strong.
What does it say to you how much they've used you, whether you were playing left guard? And if I remember correctly, when Shell got injured, they kicked Hunt out to right tackle and put you at right guard too, right?
Yeah.
If I'm correct. So they have counted on you in key moments, man. That's got to make you feel I know you want to start full time and be a full-time starter and get the credit you deserve and all that kind of stuff. But the fact that you stayed ready and have helped out on either side, that says a lot about them, and it says a lot about you.
Just when you're not that starter guy, you just got to always stay ready. You got to be able to play multiple positions, and you got to make sure you stay in your playbook. You stay doing all the techniques and everything for when your number's called, no matter when it's called, because you never know when it can be called. You just be ready to go out there. Don't overthink things. Go out there, help the team win. Because at the end of the day, that's all it's about. It's not about making yourself look good. It's about going out there and do everything you possibly can to help the team win.
What are you doing now, Robert? What are you working on specifically? I know you guys are all going to say, well, we're working on everything, but there's got to be a part of your game this offseason and you're saying, okay, I definitely need to improve in this area to make me a better player. What is that?
Something I've been really working on, been doing for a little minute so far now. I've been doing Pilates, just getting strong in the core and everything, back and growing everything, just getting strong. And I think Pilates has really helped me, just be a better old lineman. And then I started yoga in a couple of weeks just to be more flexible. So those are the two things I've been really working on that I think it helped me take my, game to the next level.
Are those the things that will help you get lower for leverage and those kind of things that you need at that position? Is that kind of what will help you in that transition?
Yeah, just be stronger, just be able to not use, so much of my lats and everything and be able to use my core more. And I think that just make me a stronger lineman.
So what's the goal this offseason or this season? How much do you want to be a starter? What have they told you? What kind of competition are you going to be involved in?
Man, I really ain't talked to them yet. I don't know what's going to happen going forward. But, me, I'm just, trying to get my body right. And when you go into training camp, just go out there and compete. And, I'm just out there trying to win the job. If that's a starting job or, a backup job, I'm just trying to win the job.
Okay. So what's Robert Jones do for fun? Are you a movies guy?
Man, I love going to the movies. I just went to the movies last night to see Creed. Man, amazing movie.
Creed 3?
Yeah,
Right,
Creed 3.
So how does it rank compared to 1 and 2, man?
I liked it a lot. You know, everybody got their own opinions. I probably like Creed 1 first because, you know, it's the first one. And I think I like Creed 3. But Creed 3 was really good. Other than watching movies, you know, I like playing video games. You know, I got me a PC. I'll be playing like Grand Theft Auto role play. You know, I play Modern Warfare. You know, I play all them type of games, 2K. But,
Are you
really my thing.
interacting with people while you're playing games? Are you talking with the people you're playing with?
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, I go on IG Live a lot and I just tell people to add me. You know, I don't have a Twitch and everything set up yet. I got it, but I just ain't set it up yet. But
you gotta tell us what your Twitch is so we can promote it, bro. Come on.
Definitely, I got you.
By the way, last week I was watching your boy Tyreek in the Drone Racing League. That shit was cool, dude. I've never been to a drone racing league, and I got to tell you something, Robert. They know. I mean, there was like 10,000 people there, man. It was a lot of fun. Kids were at it. Tyreek was cool, like he always is. I thought that was a really cool thing. Have you seen that drone racing league stuff? It's pretty interesting.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know Tyreek's a gamer for sure. Like he loves all type of games. Like he just, you know, he a game all day. He asks you if you want to play with him.
Okay, all right. So what is Robert Jones' top 3 movies that he's watched in the last few months?
The last few months? All right. See, I'm trying to think about it. Avatar was a good movie for sure. The new Avatar, The Way of Water. I liked it. I feel like they overdid it a little bit, you know, but I liked it a lot. I think my other 2 movies I watch all the time is Paid in Full and American Gangster. Them 2 movies all the time. Like I could watch it over and over again.
American Gangster is awesome, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go see 65 today, so I'm ready.
Okay, all right, good. You married or a girlfriend or single here in South Florida?
I'm single in South Florida.
Okay. All right, cool. That's cool, and it's dangerous too. You know what I'm saying, Robert? It's
yeah, for sure.
You got to be really, really careful overall. So let me ask you something. Your favorite thing about playing with Tua Tagovailoa is?
Man, he a dog. Like people don't know that. Like it'd be so much stuff going on.
I try to explain it to people all the time. You know, maybe because he's not 6'5", 260 or something. I try to tell these people that this is a badass boy. You just got to, it's just you guys see. To me, what happened this year with the Miami Dolphins, Robert, was a shit ton of bad luck.
Yeah,
I thought you guys had so many ridiculous injuries this year that it just took away from the team. And I don't even think that Tua will have the kind of issues he's had this past year with the concussions. I think that was freakish too. On top of all of that, to me, that's what brought me down for this season, because I think you guys would have made a lot of noise in the hell. You almost beat Buffalo, dude. You almost beat Buffalo. Okay, you get that play in on time on 4th and 1, and I think you're driving for the win. To be quite honest with you, and you guys played Buffalo really good all 3 times. Probably should have won all 3. And to me, I think this is a really good team that had a crap ton of bad luck. How do you see it?
Oh yeah, it was like, you know, just playing this game, it's gonna be injuries, and just goes to show what the front office upstairs does. Because we had a lot of guys, me included, step up when guys went down and went out there, played their ass off and was able to like compete before we could win or close enough to get the win. So, that's like just go toodles to the guys upstairs, just making sure we got enough guys. But, it's just part of the game. Injuries always come. That's why, the backups, we always got to stay ready no matter what, because you don't know when your number's going to be called. And when it's called, it's time to go out there and play and act like, you don't miss a step.
And by the way, with Teron Armstead around, nobody can make excuses, because that guy was playing with 104 injuries. I mean, Jesus Christ, he was adding a new injury every week, and he kept playing. Amazing.
Man, he a tough dude. I learned a lot from him this year, and you just see his toughness and how much he cared for the game. A lot of guys, he went through a lot of things, and that's just part of the game. Injuries come, and a lot of guys would have sat down and called it quits. But he fought day in, day out during the week for he could be able to play with us on Sunday and help the team win. And he put the team first.
Can you specifically tell me one thing that you learned from Teron Armstead that you will take with you forever?
The main thing I learned from it was like really just understanding how to be a pro when it comes to just football wise, looking at the game and just getting ready for the game, getting your body ready. Just that aspect, all the little things that it takes to take your game to the next level. Doing extra work on Tuesdays with them on our off days, and just looking at the game in a whole different perspective and the lens. Then how you'll look at it when you first come in the league. That's just the main thing I learned from just how to be a pro.
Good stuff, Robert. Really appreciate you taking some time. You got a social media handle that you want to promote out there so people can follow you?
Most definitely. My Instagram is _selfmade Big Rob.
Selfmade Big Rob?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I like it. All right. We'll follow you. We'll follow you on Instagram there. And you are self-made, my man. And by the way, there is nothing more satisfying than that.
Yeah, most definitely.
That is good. Robert, thank you for taking some time, man. I really appreciate it. Look forward to doing it again throughout the season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it too.
Thank you, Robert. Be good.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Robert Jones, baby. Guard for your Miami Dolphins. Really kind enough to give us a lot of time here and go over his short career here with the Dolphins. And hopefully it's a nice long one. I hope he gets an opportunity to compete for a starting job. I really like what I've seen from him. The versatility has been there, left and right. The guy can play some tackle because that's what he played a lot of in college. A lot of people, viewed him as a guy that would transition, to guard. And obviously he's done a great job here. Tough as nails. That is a tough hombre. And you don't go through all the things he's done if you're not tough mentally. You know what I mean? I mean, you played the last 8 games of your senior year in high school. That's when you started to really play football. Think about that. So you're already competing against people in your senior year of high school. You're competing against kids that have been playing for 7, 8, 9 years already. So they're already way ahead of you mentally. You know what I'm saying? So it shows you that this is just a young man that could be just scratching the surface and getting better and better and better. So there you go. Instagram @_selfmade.bigrob. There you go. I got to follow it too myself. All right. Hope you all out there enjoyed it. Dude 67 says Robert Jones seems like a cool dude. Mel Piper says I had a 2nd round grade on him coming out of Middle Tennessee State. There you go. Keep dominating, Robert, says Ray. Let's see. Mr. Jones, should the ping pong table get donated to the Goodwill? What else do we have here? I'll take any of the 3 available. This is a playoff-ready team. Jason, we've been waiting for talent for the last 25 years and still haven't figured out most important position. Well, if you don't think so. We need a couple of more Rob Jones next year. Nothing wrong with having a couple of Robert Jones. You get some tough hombres in there. The Dolphins should hire him as the next GM. Me? Oh, thank you very much. It's so nice of you. But no, they've got a good one in Chris Greer, Reggie McKenzie, Marvin Allen. They got 3 guys that they know their stuff. Check MP says it's my 34th birthday, spending the day with my beautiful daughters and wife. Have a blessed day, everyone. R.I.P. Biggie. He's a little behind on the R.I.P. for Biggie, right? I mean, that was a few years ago. No, he says it's his 34th birthday. Oh, today's also the anniversary of Biggie passing away? I didn't know that. What a shit that we lost that guy, bro. Like, he was so good, man. His voice. Yeah. So, okay. So R.I.P. Biggie. Okay. Check MP is all over it. Nice. Nate enjoyed the interview. There we go. Big O, we have 43 players on the contract at the present, fewest in the NFL with limited cap money and draft capital. Are you expecting we sign a large? No. There won't be a large, but I think they'll sign one or two. That's what I think. I think it'll be one or two. They don't need to go large. They only need a few pieces. They're not that far away. What they need is luck. More than anything else, they need some luck. Can we have a season like a lot of these championship teams do, that they get a break and they don't have a lot of injuries and things like that? That's all I want. Just a little luck. And the Dolphins will have a much better year. I thought he was going to say Matt Judon or Quinnen Williams was the toughest player he's gone against. That's why you never know. That's why you ask. Oh, Jones played better than Eichenberg, Troy. That's not even close. Not even close. Robert Jones is better. Yes. All over social media, Dolphins fans pushing for other QBs, bro. Tua's QB1. Yeah, those are the people that never believed in him, and then they were wrong about him playing. So they got to try to run him out of town or hope that he gets injured or something like that. It's a twisted thing with Tua. Absolutely twisted. I don't understand what goes on with Tua Tagovailoa. Sloman's Home Security, by the way, they've been protecting Americans for over 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME, folks. We'll give you a free doorbell camera right now. Tell them that Big O sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME if you want that free doorbell camera, and you get it when you, of course, use our low-cost central station monitoring and installation. And on top of that, you'll get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery, baby. That's all you need, man. Go 1-800-ALARM-ME. Protect your home. Protect. Sean does it. I do it. We thank the great folks at Sloman's. And, by the way, it is still cold in certain areas of the country. Hell, it's still snowing in California. Holy crap, dude. Man, but, we are all over the place. We're in California, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Virginia. Even Georgia might be a little cold there. You know what you pay for heating oil every month, right? Well, why don't you call Sloman's? 1-866-OIL-DEAL. Simple number to remember, 866-OIL-DEAL, and just ask. That's all. You're picking up the phone and asking. Hey, Big O says you guys have better rates than what I have right now. This is what I'm paying a month. What would I pay for with you guys? That's it. You'll find out. And they have fixed prices, which will save you hundreds in the long run. Do it now. Tell them that you're a loyal Big O listener. 1-800-OIL-DEAL. That's 1-800-OIL-DEAL. Sloman's, taking care of Americans for 100 years, baby. What else do we have? Big O, thoughts on the Chubb contract restructuring? Cap space. It's not like he was going anywhere anyways. You know what I mean? They have his defensive coordinator now. So I'm not worried about any of that stuff. What I need Chubb to do is play really well next year. That's what we need. Okay? That's all. People just can't accept the fact that QB who's 6 foot and left-handed can be successful. They're stuck in their ways, and it has to be 6'5" with a rocket arm and right-handed. Yep, probably. And he puts Dave Hyde. I'd really like to hear Marino's perspective on the current state of the team, but that doesn't seem too accessible. Spooky, look, dude, I love Marino to death. My favorite Dolphins player of all time. Okay? All right? I prefaced what I needed to preface, right? Okay? You know we don't bullshit on this show. Okay? Spooky, let me ask you something. You've heard him on Joe Rose for many years. You heard him nationally on CBS for many years. When do you ever hear Marino say anything controversial? So why are you dying to have him on? Why are you dying to get it? Why are you dying to interview him, bro? Just asking, because it's the same stupid shit that goes on with a lot of fans, right? It's all, he's phenomenal. Dan's the man. But let's be honest now. What does he say on the air ever? Ever. The only time he was critical was when he was a player on the field. I covered him off the field. See, I did something that most of you have never done. Mike in his face many times. Before games, after games, before practices, after practices, controversies, no controversies, with Shula, with Jimmy. I covered him. Never said anything controversial when we put mics in his face. Never says anything controversial with Joe Rose. Never says anything controversial on CBS. That's probably why he's no longer on CBS, because he didn't really leave a lot of meat on the bone. So, Spooky, what are you expecting? It's great to have him on. You have Dan Marino on, but think about it. What memorable thing did he ever say? Now, could he tell an old story and, something like that? That will be entertaining and that'll be fun. But if you're asking about the current state of the team and what you think about this and what you think about that, what do you think you're going to get outside of a company line? Seriously. Like, seriously. Please help me out on this one. Some of you out there, you live in La La Land. You just live in some world and you don't figure it out yourself. Just think about it. Go back in your mind. What does he ever say in public, on air, about football? Will he challenge a coach? Will he challenge a player? Will he challenge a trade? No. It's not what he is. He's never done that. It's not who he is. Now, when he was a player, you could see him on the field screaming at somebody. But when he came off the field and got in the locker room, he wasn't going to talk about it with any media member at all. He might talk about it with somebody in a beer and a friend of his, somewhere all alone. Yeah. But you want to hear what, Spooky? Think about it. Think about how silly that is. What do you want to hear? Come on, man. It's just one of these things that just let's live in reality. And maybe some of you will figure it out. Yeah, O is right. I love Dan, but he doesn't. Yeah, I don't. No, he doesn't say anything. So, anyway, Troy, for 2 years, Flores held Tua back, forced him to take his first read. Oh, God. Spooky says, good point. Just being honest, bro. I love Dan, but if I bring him on, it's not to ask him stuff that I know he's not going to answer. I'd rather just have fun with him, bullshit around, maybe talk about some old days or something like that, but I'm not going to ask him about it. I know this for a fact. I know he likes Tua. That I do. Let's see. Get Brian Cox to come on if you want something controversial. I can get Brian on. I have his number. Brian's a good dude, by the way. Really good dude. Let's see. Before we got Tua, we had 20 years. Yeah, definitely 20 years of bad quarterbacks. Ugly ass road. Greta was awesome, weren't they? Boy, they got 13 songs and made it 2 hours. One of the things that I don't understand about Greta is I know they only have 2 albums and an EP, right? But they don't do much more than 13 songs. I think maybe I might have seen a 14 or a 15 in one of the, I think last night was my 8th or 9th time I've seen them in concert. And maybe they went to 14 or 15 once. Maybe. I'm not sure. But they don't do a lot of songs. And that's the one. Now they jam, right? So some of the songs will go 5 minutes and 6 minutes, and there's Jake, and just wailing away and stuff, And so they had a little bass solo. They had the drum solo. Obviously, Jake had several guitar solos, throughout the whole thing. And Joshua's voice was wow. Joshua's voice was, perfect last night. It was perfectly tuned, and he was kicking some ass. You know who was there last night? Zaslow was there. Zaslow was there with a couple buddies of his, and I hung out with them a little bit, and I was joking with them because Joshua was, blasting that voice all over for 2 hours. And I turned to the guys and I said, enjoy it, remember it, record it in your mind, because 15 years from now, he's going to be load management and he won't be using that voice the same way, because I go see Rob Halford now, and he can still sing and he can still belt it out. But when he does Victim of Change, it's not the same as when I saw it in 1980. Okay? When I see my man Bruce Dickinson, my favorite, when he does Hallowed Be Thy Name or Screeching in Run to the Hills, the screech isn't nearly as long anymore, isn't as high, and it's not the same. Hallowed Be Thy Name, he ain't pumping that voice the same way. He still sounds good. He still can sing, but they don't hold the notes the same way, as long, as high. Sometimes they lower it a little, they lower it 1 octave, that kind of stuff. So it's funny. And his voice was just amazing last night, dude. It was awesome. Awesome. Place was packed, by the way. How many what? I got 2 shirts yesterday. Yeah. Huh? I'm wearing one of them, yes. Yes, this is one. I'm wearing one. Technically, I got 3 shirts yesterday. Problem is that I got one of them in the mail that they were selling there, but I got it because I got some, I'm a member and bought some crap, and they sent me the shirt also at the same time. It was part of a package deal. So, yeah. So I saw Zaz there. He was hanging out with me a little bit, and good dude. And it's going well for him, too, on his podcast, he told me. So he's still not doing something that I want him to do that I think he should do. Huh? Yeah, he's doing wrestling. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he loves wrestling.
No, he's filling in for Busted Open Radio on Sirius. He does. He's filled in a couple times on there with Tommy Dreamer and.
Oh, okay, good.
And those guys. So yeah, he's doing on top of. I know he does his the other one with his channel too. But yeah,
right.
So.
Okay, good. Yeah. I saw that he was doing some serious stuff on wrestling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who's the normal host? Is it? Damn it! I think I know the guy.
Why am I drawing a blank?
I think I know the guy.
Oh my goodness!
I think I know the guy.
Glasses. Blonde. I want to say Albert. It's not. God. Come on, guys in the chat. I know somebody listens to it.
I'm looking at my names here in media because I kind of remember him, but I'm trying to remember the name now, and I'm forgetting it. Oh well.
David LaGreca.
Oh, okay. No, it's not. That's not the guy I was thinking.
No, David LaGreca is who it was. That's who. I couldn't think of his name. I had to look it up.
Okay. Good for him. I'm glad. I know he loves that wrestling stuff like you do. He's a big wrestling guy. Where do you rank the Finns if the Jets get Rodgers? They got a nice roster. Still rank the Finns ahead of them. What do you want me to tell you? I don't think the Rodgers thing is going to go as smooth as people think in New York. I'm sorry. I think New York's in for a whole lot of trouble because he's going to go there and he's going to go with his $50 million salary. So he's going to take up a lot of cap space. And that's going to hurt them. And I think he's not going to handle this New York thing very well. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't fear the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. I don't. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I just kind of feel like the wheels are falling off of that thing. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out. No, I did not catch Robert Finley. He was the first act, the blind guy, right? I was told he was really good, actually. The second band, I could hear from the outside. I got there late. I got there like at 8:00 or something like that. I got there and I was outside actually talking with Zaslow and his buddies. I was outside and I was hearing the second act, but I saw videos of them and I wasn't impressed. I didn't even look up the first guy. And everybody tells me that the first guy was 10 times better than the second act. Houndmouth or whatever. Houndmouth was not anything impressive, but they say the Finley guy was outstanding. So I don't know. You saw him and you would know. But I did not see Finley. But I was told he was good. So, yep. I still don't think the Jets get him. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Jets released Braxton Berrios. Yep. They couldn't, I guess they wanted him to take a pay cut. Well, Aaron Rodgers is going to force a lot of pay cuts. They wanted to, remember, they got to pay other guys too. It's not going to be as easy as people think. You know? Yeah. Yeah, Frankie says, yeah, Houndmouth was very mellow rock. Yeah, I saw the videos. I wasn't impressed with their music. You know, so I was like, yeah, I'm not killing myself to get there early. And I got pit tickets, but I wasn't going to fight to be in the front. You know, I just like, I'm good standing there. The pit isn't that big. What was I, 20 feet away from the stage? I got to see everything perfectly. No problem. I got to hear it beautifully. Everything. I will say this, they knocked it out with the acoustics in that place. Really nice job with the acoustics. Really like the acoustics. Yes, I know Braxton. I figured I was going to get, let's go get Braxton Berrios as the returner and all that stuff. We'll see. We'll see. They do need a returner. So that would be actually a really good one. But I don't know if that's going to be their priority. By the way, now that I saw the fair, I'll get you the dates soon. We'll have the dates when we're broadcasting at the fair. And we'll be giving away some passes so you can be there. The fair. All right, so is your family going to go one of the days while you're broadcasting, or are you guys going to go on a separate day on your own? Because we're going to be going on early when there's not a lot of people.
Yeah, we're not
there on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what the dates are and that. So I don't know yet. Possibly.
I'm certainly not going on a Friday or Saturday night.
No, I hope not.
I haven't gone.
I'm saying no, but I
haven't gone on a Friday or Saturday night since I was a teenager.
Well, I'd probably have to get there, leave about 4 hours early so I could get through all the traffic and set up and everything else to be ready for a broadcast.
Yeah, I know, but you won't now for our broadcast because we'll go early.
Yeah, no, okay.
We're gonna be on. We're gonna be like right when they open. That's probably when we're gonna be on, right when they open. That kind of stuff. So it's awesome for us because there's no line for an elephant ear. And it's impossible for me to go to a fair and not have an elephant ear. Just want you to know that. That is like my favorite fair food of all time. An elephant ear. And by the way, it's got to be brown sugar with the elephant ear. The white powder, not good enough. I need brown sugar. So that's the key for my.
I was in Miami Lakes training this weekend at the fair they had there. Had some fried Oreos.
You had some?
Yeah, fried Snickers. This is good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, fried Snickers sounds good.
Elephant ears were good too as well, but not brown sugar. I just, code me up.
Okay.
Just sugar me up.
I'm with you on that.
By the way, it was my cheat day.
Frankie says, I tried looking for you, but the place was full. Where on the? Were you in the pit? Wow, it's not that hard to find a big fat dude with long hair. At a Greta Van Fleet concert. By the way, there were a lot of young people too. Yeah, but it's rock, so I wonder that I would figure more old people would gravitate to him, but and girls, young girls, holy crap, there were a bunch of young girls. There was some screaming and screeching going on there. Those boys are getting laid because they got youngins going all over there. There were a bunch of them in the pit. Then they were all lined up in the front. I was told that my friend that went early told me that there were like tons of girls to start at the beginning of that line to get in because they all bum rushed the front of the stage. So yeah. Dude, I love John Cougar. Love John Cougar. Have always been a huge John Cougar fan. I've seen him several times in concert. He's excellent. The fried Snickers bar is fire. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to have to try that one. Deep fried bread pudding is my favorite. Wow. Never tried that. Okay. With an elephant ear, only one I know is a weed. You mean you smoke weed and then you eat an elephant ear? Oh, he's never heard of an elephant ear? Oh, he's only heard of weed, not elephant ear. Okay. But normally if you smoke weed, you can end up with an elephant ear. That's what I'm told. Yeah, funnel cake. Well, I call it an elephant ear. Screw the funnel cake stuff. Yeah, they try this funnel cake stuff. No. It's an elephant ear. Okay, no funnel cake. Yeah, bro, it's an elephant ear, not a funnel cake. I hate that. I hate the funnel cake name. Yeah, that's true. There is nothing funnel about it. It's fun to eat it.
It's not even a damn cake.
That's right. It's not a funnel. It's not a cake. Why would it be a funnel cake? It's an elephant ear. It looks like it came off an elephant. Enjoy. Enjoy some elephant wax. Come to our fair and try the Roadkill Possum Pops. Those are really good, especially if they're fried in Oreo.
Do they put the gravy on them though? Do they add the gravy or sauce, depending on where you're listening from?
John says, no, there was a weed growing in the field they called elephant ear whenever I was a kid. Oh, really? I've never heard of a weed growing in a field called an elephant ear. You must be like from Kansas or some shit like that, where they have some fields that they have a life of their own or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never heard of that. That's where Watson finds his massage therapist now. Okay. I don't mind fried dough, but I'm still going with elephant ear. Funnel cake, fried dough, not good enough. Elephant ear, perfect name. Perfect name. Elephant ear is a chocolate eclair. It's a long Boston cream, right? Is it? Why would an eclair is not an elephant ear?
Yeah, no, I call it an eclair, but no telling these days. The youngins, they've got stuff all mixed up now.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Stuffed armadillo turds.
Oh, fantastic.
Now that's fantastic.
Yeah, a little butter.
Oh. That's it. Little warm butter.
They melt in your mouth.
That's it. I like it. Mel says, I don't eat that garbage. Mel is special. So let's see what we got going on. Let's go. All right, we'll have Andy Behrens on at 4, and we'll have Poupart on at 4:30. Just talked to Behrens. He got off the plane, and he's ready to go at 4 p.m. So we'll have some fun with him. Of course, we want to remind you about Welton Rayom. Listen, folks, at one point or another, you're going to need a lawyer. And you're going to need somebody you can trust here in South Florida, even in Monroe County. Monroe, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach. Hell, even if you're in Martin County, you can make the phone call down to Hollywood. It's not a big deal. 954-966-4646. You want lawyers that are going to fight for you. You want lawyers that are not intimidated by any of these big insurance companies. You want lawyers that know how to actually kick those insurance companies in the ass. Okay? Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. I saw it firsthand. Progressive was trying to take advantage of us. And, I had the wife in the way. She was like, no, you don't have to call a lawyer. It's the dumbest thing you can do. Okay? My wife's not listening, so it's all right. Dumbest thing you can do. You call the lawyer first. You don't even call the insurance company. Don't even deal with them. You call Welton Rayom first. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, something happens, storm, some kind of flooding, you name it. Maybe you got some kids that are driving crazy and they think they're fast and furious and they go right through your wall like they did to our house. Condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Welton Rayom has been at this for well over 20 years, and they crush the insurance companies all the time. Trust me, when you pick up the phone and call that insurance company, they're laughing at you already. He's calling me on his own. She's calling me on his own. But when a lawyer calls them on behalf of you, then you know what? You got their attention right away because they no longer can play the games that they're going to be playing with you that they tried to do with us. Okay? Progressive was offering us 1/5 of what we got. 1/5. That's what they're going to try to get away with. 954-966-4646. The consultation is free. So just call them and get any questions. You're in a condominium and the neighbor next door had some water damage and it went into your home. And what are you going to do? Well, you got recourse here. But you need the right people to defend you to get what you deserve. 954-966-4646 in Hollywood. Welt and Rayom. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you, they will take care of you. Great people, man. Great people. All right. It's called the funnel cake because batter is a funnel then squeezed into fryer. I see. I'm still going with elephant ear because it looks like an elephant ear when they hand it to me. Okay? So, They had a question about what? The youth fair has some pretty crazy food they bring each year. I saw this year they have something called the Miami Cuban funnel cake sandwich. Yeah, they told me about it, and they're bringing us 2 of them so we can try them. So we will be trying. We're going to show you the food on the air. Huh? Pickle lemonade? You can have that. I'm not having any. I'm not having any pickle lemonade. No, not doing that. No, not doing that. Sorry. If you missed a Robert Jones interview, by the way, you can rewind and check it out. He joined us at 3:00. He was terrific. He was excellent. We've got more Dolphin interviews lined up. We are working the phones. So we're going to continue to try to keep having current and former Dolphin players join us and talk a little Dolphins football and talk about themselves and maybe any charity work that they're doing and all those kind of things so we can get to know some of these guys a little better. And I thought, with Robert Jones, you got a little feel for who he is because he's a guy that a lot of people haven't talked to, and yet he was a big part of this season, man. He helped out. He was clutch. It was good, and he was really good in our interview. I really enjoyed him. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done, so I'm sorry. I was going to say the Dolphins just signed another center.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Mike Pouncey.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes, he signed for a day and retired. Love it. Yeah. What?
Pouncey snapping to Brady next season?
Oh.
What?
Yeah. Let's bring Pouncey back. We move Connor over to guard.
Aqua and orange, baby.
And bring in Brady. Yeah, baby. I like it. And sign Derrick Henry. Trade for him. Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Let's
and then
do that.
Barrios as the returner, of course. We got to bring in Barrios.
and
Little
bring Barrios
hurricane
in.
flavor with Jalen.
Yeah, that's all. Frank Gorin, you got anything left? Let's add him too. Let's see. Mike Pouncey, really good dude. Yeah, he's a cool dude, isn't he? Both Pouncey brothers are pretty cool. They were always pretty cool dudes. The part that sucked with Mike was the next shit. That poor guy had the injuries. That's it. That was the only problem with Mike Pouncey here. Outside of that, there was nothing else. He was a hell of a player. When he was healthy, bro, he's a monster. And then, unfortunately, he had all that neck. And the tough sumbitch ends up going, like you thought his career was over when they released him. And he goes and he has like 2 solid years for the Chargers. He might have even made a Pro Bowl in one of those 2, right? The first year, right? He might have made the Pro Bowl. Like crazy, bro. Yeah. And that neck stuff was serious. And yet somehow he overcame it, dude. Like that is one tough hombre. Holy shit, that guy's tough. All right, let's take a break. Hour number 2 is next. We hope Andy Behrens will be joining us to start hour number 2 from Hialeah Park.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
opinions or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. While the NFL plans for the 2023 season, the Big O Radio Show keeps you informed by tracking everything from free agency, trades, draft, and all the news you can handle. It's the SportsGrill.com Dolphins and NFL Draft Report with Yahoo Sports' Andy Behrens.
All right. There he is, the world traveler himself, Andy Behrens, ready to go. Where are you at? Singapore?
Yeah, pretty glamorous right now, Big O. I'm in a perhaps too public place at the Westin in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm enjoying it. You might be able to see the UAB football stadium behind me. I'm right by the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. It's pretty exciting. Now my daughter's here running in a track meet tomorrow. So I believe I heard you breaking. Were you breaking some Derrick Henry news there? Was that informed speculation?
Yeah, the Dolphins are signing Braxton Berrios. They're trading for Derrick Henry. They're bringing in Brady, and they're going to bring back Mike Pouncey to snap for him, and they're moving Connor Williams over to guard. Yeah, that's what we got going. By the way, are you shocked at how green that town is? Like there's a lot of trees everywhere. I've been to Birmingham, and
they're truly nice.
It's actually nicer than what people think.
Oh, it's been. I mean, we've only been here for a few hours, but it's treating us reasonably well so far. I didn't mind the drive in at all. The airport was easy. That's what I like.
Yeah. Those big airports are a pain in the ass. The small airports, quick and easy, in and out, bro. Yeah, you don't have to do that much walking. It's like,
it was 5 minutes off the plane to the rental car. It was amazing.
I know. I hate like Miami. You get off the plane, and brother, you got to walk like 8 freaking blocks to get to the damn baggage area, and you're like, holy shit, dude, it takes forever. Atlanta's the worst.
Atlanta's bad. Yeah.
And when they switch gates on your ass in Atlanta, oh crap. Now you got to take like a train, a monorail, 4 escalators, and then way down on the concourse, and then you're there. It's like
anytime I'm on a train with multiple stops or some sort of people mover that looks like it was from Desert Storm, right? Like those are the worst airport experiences.
Atlanta's
the worst. Birmingham was lovely.
Atlanta's the worst because they'll switch you gates, and you're like, you got to go to another gate where you got to get a train and all kinds of shit, and you've got like 6 minutes to get there, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Oh, they do that to you in Phoenix too. Not only do they put the Phoenix car rental in Scottsdale, but you always have to walk a mile.
It's crazy. All right. So Aaron Rodgers, does he retire? Does he go to Green Bay? Or does he go to the New York Jets? What's your gut tell you on this one?
Well, as a Bears fan, I'm
get out of the division.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him to leave the division. It feels like he's going to leave the division one way or another. There were reports this morning about, and again, I've been traveling all day, but I don't think anything is broken on this. Seems like there's a good vibe between him and the Jets. It's a little bit weird to be that on the nose with the Brett Favre career path, right? But fine, whatever. Garrett Wilson is great, and I am fully prepared at the drop of a hat. Well, at the signing of Aaron Rodgers, anyway. I am fully prepared to rank Garrett Wilson as something like the wide receiver 7, wide receiver 8. I think that guy became a star last year. I don't think there's much left to do. You just really need to insert a competent quarterback. I would have been happy with Garrett Wilson being paired with, I don't know, somebody less than Aaron Rodgers. Derek Carr would have been fine with me. He just had absolutely abysmal quarterback play last season, and now you're talking about upgrading to, this isn't like the 2010, 2011 version of Aaron Rodgers. I think we all understand that. He's a little bit older. But man, when that guy gets a little bit of time, he's still just deadly accurate. He's like weapons grade accurate. So I'm pretty excited to see that with Wilson. Wilson, I was a little bit of a skeptic, and now I just feel terrible about having been skeptical at all last year because I didn't get enough Garrett Wilson in dynasty leagues. I didn't get enough Garrett Wilson anywhere, and now he's on the verge of having Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. That's just as good as it gets.
And Breece Hall too, by the way.
Oh, well, that's another thing, and that's, we can point to 18 different things that Zach Wilson doesn't do well, but one of the things that he really, really doesn't do well is complete the layups. Right? He's absolutely terrible at the simplest stuff. He can make the hero throw, right? He can put the ball 70 yards in the air. There are other guys who can do that, but I've never seen someone who is as inept at throwing screens, at hitting, like, I don't know. I just need a guy 10 yards downfield. I need a wheel route. I need just a simple receiver in the flat, like the bunnies. I've hardly ever seen an NFL quarterback who's as bad at the easy stuff as Zach Wilson.
Well, you see, the problem here's where this is all your fault now. You don't blame this because, see, you want him to do layups, and he's just into laid up. That's all. He's into the milk.
No, it's fair.
He's thinking of getting laid. Fair. You're thinking about, layups. He's thinking of getting laid, and that's where you're asking him to do something that's not his strength.
Well, one thing can be the path to the other thing.
Is hitting on the 44-year-old broad in section 227. That's his expertise there. What the hell is wrong with you, Andy?
Yeah, I'm sure his eyes are wide too after a few years at BYU. Had the restraints on probably while he was on campus there. So I get it. It's just that competence as an NFL quarterback will open a lot of those doors for you if he could just achieve it.
He doesn't get that part, that if he's successful on the field, he can also be successful off the field. But he's just worried about being successful off the field. So, it's a whole different, you just can't, it's one of those things. He's young, I guess his hormones have gotten the best of him, for now at this point. Maybe, you know what? Maybe he should hook up with Jada Pinkett.
That seems like something that can happen. Yeah, it seems like that is like all parties would be open to that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one that would work there. Your thoughts on Braxton Berrios getting released from the Jets? I got Dolphin fans already clamoring, saying they do need a returner, since they traded Jakeem the Dream Grant, which I was personally depressed about that because he's a good returner, actually, not a receiver. That was the problem here, by the way. With all the injuries, they had to elevate him to like the number 3 receiver. And Jakeem Grant is supposed to be your number 6 receiver. He's supposed to be your last receiver that you use, break glass when emergency. But as a returner, he's excellent. Obviously went to the Pro Bowl. And then he got that contract from Cleveland. And, well, then, that unfortunately the poor kid got injured. But they need a returner. So what do you think about Braxton Berrios as a returner? Because I know he's not a big-time receiver.
Yeah, I think it would actually be it's something of a downgrade as a returner, right? But it's he's a good football player. And I don't mean that as like damning with faint praise or anything like that, but coaches love putting that guy on the field. He makes more plays than you would think someone like with his presumed talent level would make, right? Quarterbacks love him, coaches love him. So obviously, if he's been released, that's maybe a little bit of a knock against him. But man, that guy always finds his way into game plans, and he always finds his way into a handful of targets. So does it move the needle for a team to sign him? No, but is he a totally competent football player who's probably going to see a bunch of snaps? Yeah, sure.
Lamar Jackson, what happens, dude? People are they're jumping ship. I'm not really into the collusion crap. I think that people aren't looking at the big picture. You've got to give up a guaranteed deal that's what he wants. You've got to give up 2 first-round picks, and you must be willing to change your offense completely.
Okay, so that's
accommodate him.
That to me is the key aspect of this. This is not like plugging in, Derek Carr. This is not like plugging in Andy Dalton. This is not like plugging in, sort of a paint by numbers pocket passer of a quarterback. This is somebody that you build the whole thing around, right? This is the new centerpiece of your offense, and your offense has to be very different from anything that you've run before. There's only a handful of guys that can slide into that sort of role. You need different sorts of receivers. You need different, you got to coach the offensive line differently. You need, you're talking about reshaping an offense from scratch. So this isn't a plug and play guy. This is, we draft for years to accommodate what we have in somebody like Lamar Jackson, right? It's just not as simple as saying, oh, we need a quarterback. There's a quarterback. Go get him.
I'm glad you and I see eye to eye on that one, because I think people just think like, oh no, it's like I laugh here in Miami because, oh no, yeah, no, of course, Mike McDaniel's going to change his entire offense for that kid.
Yeah.
And then that kid can can that kid run Mike McDaniel's offense? No, he can't, because you need a pure passer to run this offense. Of course, it's a run-based offense, but hell, even this year, he chose not to run at times.
Plus the NFL is also a league where you need to build off what you've done last year and the year before. And you can't just shake the Etch-a-Sketch every season and say, okay, well, that didn't work. We lost with that. So let's try this other radically different thing. That's why the Dolphins are obviously in it for the long haul with the cast that they have. And that's the right thing to do. You have a coach that you trust. You have a quarterback that you pretty much trust. And you have the best receivers in football. So let's build on what we just did and build on how far we got this last year. That's how it's supposed to work. That's why we talk about year-to-year continuity all the time and the importance of it. And Lamar in particular is just not, I think he's wonderful. He's one of my favorite players to watch. But I'm not ignorant enough to think that you can just plug him in anywhere and say, okay, let's go do Lamar things after never having had a guy like that.
Right. And you know what? A lot of people talk about, whoa, no, Washington. If I'm Eric Bieniemy, that's not what the guy want to prove my worthiness of being a head coach or an offensive coordinator, because now I've got to make him an accurate quarterback, something he hasn't been 5 years into the league already at this point.
Well, plus, what is the strength of Washington on offense? They have a great receiving core. Terry McLaurin is great. That guy's like I don't know if we're calling him top 12, top 15. He's fantastic.
Easily top 15. Easily top 12.
Curtis Samuel is awesome. Dotson is awesome. Like, all Dotson did is catch a touchdown like every 5 or 6 receptions this year. Short stuff, long stuff. That receiving core is outstanding. So that is a team where I think you could plug in a lot of guys. Like, they would have been fine. They'd be fine for Jimmy. They would have been fine for Derek Carr. Like, I think that is a really interesting environment with absolutely outstanding receivers. Like, they don't have that one guy who's just an absolute top of the ranks receiver that gets everybody buzzing, but the combination of those 3 players is just phenomenal.
Then again, Terry McLaurin probably doesn't get enough credit for being a stud. That's the thing too.
No, that's what happens when you've been tied with Carr. Yeah, that's what happens when you're anchored to Carson Wentz and nothing but sketchy quarterbacks before that. Like, but we're gonna see at some point Terry McLaurin is going to get himself a quarterback in the NFL, and it's going to be sensational.
All right, so where does the Lamar Jackson thing end? Just a holdout then?
I assume it ends with him in Baltimore. Charles Robinson wrote some really interesting stuff at Yahoo. Wrote some really interesting stuff in which he talked to agents about Lamar's situation. Like, I would like to think that this ends with Lamar actually getting an agent and an agent getting something done, because we got to be at that point pretty soon. Like, it's really easy to roll your eyes at the nature of the job of a sports agent or anything like that, but they're out there tampering on your behalf, right? They're out there making things happen when you simply don't have the time for those distractions, and you don't necessarily have the competence for it either, right? It's not what you do every day, every minute of the day. I hope it ends with Lamar getting an agent and getting something done with the Ravens, because that's the team that's invested the time in him. That's the system that's built around him. That is clearly the best landing spot for him. They would then need to go find some receiving assets too, but I still think that's the right spot.
I know a player in the league that had a pretty good year this year and was out of football. And if it wasn't for his agent, he wouldn't have had a job. His agent knew the general manager, and the general manager did the agent a favor by bringing the guy in, and the guy said, just give him a couple weeks, get him in shape, and give him a chance. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, you tried, it didn't hurt you. and the guy went on to actually have a pretty good season, contribute to the team a lot, and it was all because of the agent that made it happen. So any player that thinks you don't need an agent, it's ridiculous, dude. It's just stupid. You know, those people are working the phones for you. They have connections that you never will have, and then they're your they're your buffer. For all of this stuff.
They're a pipeline of information. They can, as you say, they can do all sorts of things on your behalf that you'll never have the time to do, especially in season when it needs to be done.
Going on now, you don't want to be a part of this shit that's going on now. You don't want to hear what they really think about you and what warts you have and all that stuff. The agent, keeps you sheltered from that stuff, and it's just not a. Yeah, you can't imagine his mom is sitting there and you're actually telling his mom, well, we can't give your son a guaranteed contract because, he's broken down the last 2 years and, he's not necessarily a great passer either. So, what, and so it's this, I bet that the Ravens haven't even been able to really be themselves in these negotiations if they're really dealing with his mom, dude.
It's a really good point. There's only so much you can say, right? You can't deal with brutal honesty. There's probably, I don't know if the people I don't know what level of business acumen the people in the room actually have, but it is a different conversation entirely. And again, you're just not getting the pipeline of information that you would from any sort of competent sports
agent. And your agent is negotiating other contracts or has negotiated other contracts in your position for your whatever position you play in several times over now. So he's going to know all the ins and outs of it and what one guy got, one other guy was missing, what clause, this, that. All of these things that they're going to be able to protect you a lot better than somebody that's never put together an NFL contract. And to me, that's it's really baffling to me that this guy has not figured out, and his mom, that they need an agent. I don't know how that doesn't cross your mind.
Yeah, that again is definitely where I hope this ends. And to your original point, just to reiterate, like, this is absolutely not a guy that you can just plug into any system and expect it to just hum immediately, right? Like, Baltimore has carefully over several years built a team to sort of support Lamar, and it's not finished, right? They need the better receiving core, but it just takes time in the NFL. It's not, it's not Major League Baseball. It's not, there's other sports where you can do this. Like, NBA teams can reshuffle all the time, and you give them a couple weeks and stars figure it out. That is not how the NFL works. The NFL is a little bit more intricate than that. So I really do hope that he lands back with Baltimore, and I really do hope that he hires an agent and they just get this done. Because it's not like, this isn't fun to talk about. This isn't fun conversation. I do not enjoy the unless we're getting like big splash deals like we had last year, or like you're the Dolphins and you just landed Tyreek Hill. I don't, these offseason transactions and like business of football stuff is not why I got into it. I'd rather be talking about the Ravens' outlook moving forward and which of these great receivers do they land in the draft or sign in free agency or something like that. I just hate talking about the
the ridiculous part is an agent would have had his contract done 2 years ago.
2 years ago, absolutely.
Third year, it would have been done. History in the archives. They would have moved on. And none of this would happen. It would be smooth sailing for them, and they can stay, but now you've lost your offensive coordinator. He left. So, and who knows, maybe he left because he wants to be, like a full-fledged offensive coordinator, not a guy running a run-oriented offense all the time. And, it kind of reminds me of the Miami Heat. You're running a run-oriented offense that limits you in offense. And if you fall behind, you can't really play catch up.
Right.
Hell, they led the Dolphins by 21 points, and Miami stormed back because they have a quarterback in a passing game. And yet when they were forced to match, they could not do it because that's not the way that offense works. So all of a sudden now you're playing an offense that really is antiquated, and it reminds me of our Miami Heat. The Miami Heat you need a 2-point shot? We got it for you, bro. We got all the 2-point shots you want, Andy. But there's only one problem in the NBA. It's about the threes. It's not about the twos. You know,
three remains a little bit bigger than two. Yeah.
You know, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo would have been fantastic in the 90s.
Yeah.
Fantastic in the 90s. Problem is that Pat Riley and company keep building teams from the 90s. And it's like, bro, you're in 2023. And I think, you know, that offense, that's the dangerous part of that kind of offense. By the way, Tennessee was kind of in that same boat. Different ways, but you were counting on the one guy, Derrick Henry. Why? Because your quarterback wasn't a difference maker with his arm. And then that's the problem. He was just a facilitator, a game manager. And at one point or another in this league, you have to be explosive, dude. You have to be able to
more to the point in that conference, right? Like Kansas City is just a problem that's going to sit there for a decade, right? Like there's going to be different names in the receiving room and all that, but it's still going to be Patrick Mahomes for the next, you got peak Patrick Mahomes now for like the next 10 years, 12 years.
They're talking Hopkins.
Yeah, and that's
Hopkins to go there.
You're going to have to find a way to score with Kansas City for the next 10 years if you think you're a serious AFC team. You got to get to 37. You got to get to 35 all of the time. You've got to be the sort of team that can fall behind 14-0 and, like Kansas City, be like, whatever, what's 2 scores to us? We're gonna finish at 38. You know, you've got to be that kind of offense, and you don't get there by playing slow. You don't get there by running the ball 45 times a game. It's just not how that's done.
All right, follow him on Twitter at Andy Behrens. What do you got going on Yahoo this week?
So much baseball. Fantasy baseball season is ramping up. We've got a million pieces of content out there right now.
By the way, you want another offensive juggernaut? The Miami Marlins, baby. That's right. 42-run differential. We've scored. Let me see. I took the notes there. They're 1-9. They got a 42-run differential right now, worst in Major League Baseball. We've lost 7 in a row, worst in Major League Baseball. And the 31 runs scored in 10 games, the worst in Major League Baseball. And
I'm just here to tell you I can't have Edward Cabrera fail.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. We beat Israel last night. We're in.
Yeah. All right.
We're good.
Turning it around.
We're good. We beat Israel. There we go. We're set. We're set.
Is Israel in the NL East? Are they?
Well, it's in some kind of East. But
fair enough.
Somewhere in the East. So if you want a juggernaut, I'm sure you're talking a lot about the Marlins and draft
constantly. It's just nothing but Marlins talk. It's wall to wall Marlins talk. That's right.
It's a beautiful thing. All right, follow him there at Andy Behrens, and of course, if you're getting ready for fantasy baseball, do everything but stay away from Marlins. That's the advice from Yahoo Sports.
Actually, it's not that bad. Actually, if I had to sum it up in one sentence, that's pretty good.
Andy Jazz and stay away from everything else. That's kind of what they're going to tell you. Andy, appreciate you, bro. Hey, good luck to your daughter, man. I hope she kicks ass.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
You got it, baby. We'll catch up next week. Thank you.
Later, baby.
You got it. There you go. The great Andy Behrens. Yes, sir. Sports Grill. Oh, yeah. Hey, you want to watch the Marlins score no runs this season? Go to Sports Grill. You want to watch Inter Miami score a lot of goals and add Messi? Go to Sports Grill. When the Dolphins roll around, you go to Sports Grill. When the Miami Heat are in the playoffs, go to Sports Grill. When the Panthers are finishing up this season, I don't know if they'll be in the playoffs, but at Sports Grill, you can catch all the playoff games. You can take home your favorite sauce. It's a beautiful thing. Mondays, the Kendall location's got the rock and roll playing and the milkshakes going on all night long. So many things going on. The new Doral location is off the chain, baby. 8 awesome locations. Go to sportsgrill.com. Find the nearest location to you. Sports Grill, baby. Enjoy your sports. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the family.
This has been the SportsGrill.com Dolphins and NFL Draft Report with Yahoo Sports' Andy Behrens. Cheer on your favorite South Florida sports team at SportsGrill.com. With 8 great locations, go to SportsGrill.com and find a slice of sports heaven.
There you go. A slice of sports heaven. You know what's heaven right now? This dip in the market is freaking heaven. Heaven. Holy moly, what's going on? Wow. Bitcoin's down to 20,400 right now, which is not that bad considering everything else is taking a major bath. Like ADA is down to 30 cents. Atom is at $10.80. I mean, H-bar is down to 5.5 cents. Chainlink is at $6.13. These are monster dips. Polkadot's at $5.36. Now that guy can check back with me and complain. I mean, the market went down 500 points, I think it is. 542 points is down the Dow. And then S&P, which a lot of times the S&P and Bitcoin go together, it's down now 40 points. 40 points. But the Dow's down now 285 points now. So gained back a little bit. NASDAQ, it's just down a third of a point. It's not down by much. But man, yeah, things are taking a bath right now. It's actually looking a lot more than how I thought it would when I thought we would be still in hell through August, September, and then things would start looking up. And maybe that's what it is. EJ Barro says, life is just a fantasy. Yeah. I want to live that fantasy life. It's a good tune, by the way. He had two songs, that one and Monkey on Your Back. But Fantasy was a really, really good tune. Really good tune. The only thing that Aldo's got to stop wearing that leopard suit. He's a little too old to wear the leopard suit. That's all. That's all I would say to Aldo. Stay away from the leopard suit. All right, let's do it. It is time for the man, the myth, the legend that is Alan Poupart and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
Dolphins fans, time to get insight on your favorite team with your favorite reporter with an Expos hat. Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on a Big O radio show.
Yes, we are back. We're back. And there he is, locked and loaded. And all right. What are you looking at? My shirt?
No. Good event.
Last night.
Fun fact about Aldo Nova, by the way, born in Montreal. No, where he was raised was born in Montreal, my hometown.
Okay. He's Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Is he one of those guys? Did he make it into the Canadian Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Less than no clue.
Okay. All right.
I'm not familiar with the Canadian who's in there. I would assume Russia's in there. Sarah McLachlan, Alanis Morissette, I would hope's in there.
Bryan Adams,
Celine Dion.
April Wine,
also from Montreal. Chili Watts, I can't imagine would be in the Hall of Fame.
Is April Wine in there? They got to be, right?
I would imagine, yeah.
I love April Wine.
Neil Young, obviously.
Oh yeah. There you go. There's a couple Canadians, eh? They actually can play some music.
They're actually more famous for comedians. Whole bunch of comedians.
Triumph.
There you go. Lay It on the Line. Great song. Love that song.
No, love that band. Period, bro. God. Have you ever heard Young Enough to Cry from Triumph? It's my favorite song. It's sung by the drummer. Okay. The drummer was kind of the lead of the band, actually. I don't know if you know that. He was kind of the boss. In fact, him and Rick Emmett have had a falling out and all that kind of stuff and financial and all that. You'll never see them get back together again, which is a real shame because, you know. And by the way, what is it with Canadians and three-man bands? They're like pretty good at that. They come up with the three-man band all the time. Pretty impressive.
Well, who else outside of Rush? I mean, Rush is...
No, Triumph was also a three-man band.
Correct. I mean, thing outside of Triumph and Rush. I mean, Rush is like...
Wait a minute. Is, what's it called? These, super, whatever, damn it. What's this band that's a three-man band? Are they Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Nickelback's Canadian, but I don't think they're the 3-man band. I don't think they're very.
Muse is Muse. Is it?
Oh,
Is Muse?
Muse is British.
Oh, they're British. Okay, I thought they were Canadian. So.
No, that's a
I think
factor.
there's another 3-man Canadian band that I'm forgetting, and it might not be as big. Well, nobody's as big as Rush. That's as big as it gets, but or Triumph. But there's another one that I think I'm missing. Don't know why.
You're not comparing Triumph to Rush, are you?
No,
Okay.
but Triumph is great.
Oh, no, I don't know their material.
Like I said, Rush is as big as it gets.
Yeah,
Rush is up there with the greatest of all the greats. That's not up for arguments or anything like that. But Triumph is freaking awesome, dude.
Oh,
okay. Rock and Roll Machine. They have so many great songs that are. It's really an excellent band. But I know there's another 3. Well, they're saying Hanson. That's
Hanson's from like Missouri or Kansas or something. They're not
really? They're not Canadian?
No,
I don't know.
I don't believe so.
That would have been funny. Somebody's throwing out the Guess Who.
They're Canadian.
Are they a 3-man band?
I don't believe so. Burton Cummings.
No, there was
I
several.
they had like 4 or 5 people. Randy Bachman was in that band. I think there were like 4 or 5 people.
Avril Lavigne is also a Canadian, eh?
Yep. Could you stop with the A already? Jesus.
Why you're supposed to do it automatically when you say Canadian, eh?
Except
it's there's a law. It goes with it, right? Isn't it?
It's like saying somebody's from Cuba, coño. I mean, it's like, or somebody's from the U.S., y'all. I mean, it's.
Well, no, that's a certain part of the U.S.
Well, the A is a certain part of
the Cuban part of the coño. You were right on target. You were good with the Cuban one, but the y'all doesn't really go because it's only a certain part of the country that says y'all. You know,
and the A is only a certain part of Canada. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Oh, it is really. What part is it?
I believe it's like from Ontario. I don't think you hear BC people saying A.
Okay. Oh, Loverboy, they're Canadian?
From Vancouver, yes.
Yes, there you go. They weren't definitely not a 3-man band, but they are excellent.
Yep.
I do like a little Loverboy. I got no problem with that. I don't know why I think we're missing one that was Tiny Tim. Was he Canadian also? Were you tiptoeing through the tulips? I didn't know that.
So. I don't believe so, but I'll
look up Tiny Tim there. Is he Canadian, Tiny Tim? That's funny if he's Canadian. That would be funny right there.
By the way, Hanson, that's
the Yoko Ono Plastic Band. Were they Canadian?
Really?
Oh, he was born in Manhattan, New York. Tiny Tim from Manhattan, New York.
And spoiler alert, Boston was not from Canada either. The band Boston?
No. I think they actually are from that area, aren't they? Aren't they from the Massachusetts area?
From Boston, hence the name of the band.
Yeah, exactly. And he went to MIT and everything, Tom Schultz.
How about that?
Yeah, exactly. That dude made his own guitar and he built his own studio, and they recorded all of the albums at his house. Every one of the albums were recorded at his studio in his house.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty smart dude. There's no doubt. Yeah. Yep. They're throwing Nickelback on you guys.
They're from Calgary, yeah.
Oh, wow. Apologies there. I'm sorry that you have to.
Talk about polarizing band. Holy moly.
Yeah. I know. And by the way, I'm guilty. I kind of like Nickelback. So
they got a couple of good songs, and they also have a very generic sound.
I know they have a generic sound, but they do have a couple good songs. They actually do make a couple songs that I do like, I got to say. I can't. By the way, are you on the bandwagon of calling Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel a liar? Because it's like, here we go. Here's Scott Zolak,
Yeah, I know.
And then the other former backup Green Bay, Patriot quarterback. I forgot the guy's name.
Zolak. No.
The other one. There's another one. I forgot. But they're all throwing out that Brady to Miami. Brady already told you he's not coming. And see, here's my problem with all of this. Greer and McDaniel really haven't been liars to the media or to the fan base. It's you can't control some of the people around you, like in the past, whether it's the owner or the head coach or whatever. it's basically you're calling those guys like flat out liars when they've been telling you from the first moment of the offseason that they're committed to Tua, and yet it doesn't stop. I don't get it. I really don't understand it, Alan.
No, but here's the thing, though. If you look at the story with the Zolak comment, it's basically just saying what Rich Eisen said. There's nothing. Doesn't sound like there's anything new from his end where he got any sort of inside info. Look, something happens to Tua in August or September. Yeah, sure. Sal can see the Dolphins picking up the phone and say, "Hey, Tom, you're interested." But in the meantime, no. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I don't think they're exploring anything right now. I think what they're exploring is in trying to improve this team. And your thoughts on the Chubb thing? Is that just step one of many to start to clear up space?
Correct. It seemed like a no-brainer. Yeah. The only issue there is you're kind of creating cap issues. You're pushing cap issues down the road. But right now they're in a situation where they made a big push last year, this year, maybe for even next year, to have like guys of key core guys to make a big run.
Right.
Well, from that standpoint, so now they got to deal with, okay, now we got to create this cap space to be able to put together a team, because it's not just getting under the cap. They have to create space to where they will have room under the cap, because they got to re-sign. Right now they have I believe I saw this morning, 43 players on the contract.
Yes.
43. That's I'm no math genius, but that's
you need 10 to get to 53.
That's less than 90. I mean, that's less than half the 90. And you don't have a single running back under contract, so that's going to have to be addressed. So they need to create space, not just get down to the cap. And you look at certain of the contracts that scream that's an easy restructure to push stuff down the road. Tyreek Hill's one, Bradley Chubb was another one.
Right. Yeah, and I would imagine Teron Armstead's going to be another one that they may explore and try to open up some space. How big of a player do you think they'll be in free agency? 1, 2, or 3 free agents? And I'm talking about players that are not on this team, not guys that are free agents on your own team.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless they bring back everybody again, they're at 43 players, so they're going to be signing players. If the question is how many splash free agent signings they make, that would be pretty low. I think 3 might be like, I don't want to say Teron Armstead, because Teron Armstead's a whale to that level. Like even
will they get a whale? Will they get a Jordan Poyer? Will they get
not at whale level? I mean, Teron Armstead was like what, 17 million a year or something like that. I don't think they're getting a player like that. I'm not seeing that. I think they may get maybe room for one 10 million a year plus guy, but I could see maybe more so 5 or 6 more reasonably priced guys. And Jordan Poyer's thing is going to come down to what the market is for him. He's a hell of a player, but he's 32.
And safeties don't get paid that much money.
Don't get paid, and by all accounts, it's a great year for safeties in the draft. It's the same thing with tight ends. I mean, it's everybody talks about how nuts the tight end class is in this draft. Nuts as in great.
Right. It's weak in free agency. Yeah.
Well, it's got you. If you can make Gesicki, Dalton Schultz, not a bad player. Those are the 2 who jump off the top of my head. Ingram got tagged, so he's off the market. But no, I can't see them making I don't expect like the whale and maybe one, like, let's put it semi-whale. How's that for a term?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's I would consider Jordan Poyer a semi-whale.
Right. Poyer, Bobby Wagner's a semi-whale. If they trade for Jalen Ramsey, that would be a whale. The problem with Jalen Ramsey, now the latest that I saw with him is part of the issues. He wants a new contract.
They're not trading for Jalen Ramsey.
Kind of a pain in the ass, if we're going to be honest. I mean, he's a little bit of a prima donna, hell of a player, but I don't know. Like if I rank him, Wagner, Poyer, or Ramsey, I have Ramsey 3.
Yeah, I have no interest. I actually have zero interest in Ramsey because it's a big salary and you have to give up compensation. I'm going to go get guys that I don't have to give up compensation because the few picks you have, you need to use those picks. You need to You need to find something there. You can't just be trading away your picks also and cap space at the same time. So for me, I'd rather I really like Poyer and Wagner as my free agent, dips, because I think I think this guy needs, in order for his defense to work, he's going to need another elite cover safety, and he definitely needs a linebacker in the middle that can, he needs an eraser in the middle.
Hell, if he lands those two, I think I'd be fine with nothing but like minimum salary free agent or close to it to fill.
And bring back most of your guys. Yeah,
correct.
Right. Yes.
None of them are going to break the bank, because that's why there was never any thought the Dolphins would franchise tag any of their pending UFAs.
Right. Yeah. None of them deserve to be.
Correct.
What's it called? Tagged. We had Robert Jones on earlier on the show, and he was terrific. How do you think they're going to handle the offensive line? Do you think they'll go and find a free agent for the guard spot? Left guard, that is, because obviously the right guard is solved with Hunt. Or do you think they're going to allow Eichenberg and others like Robert Jones to battle out for that spot?
I don't think it's a high priority. I really don't. And I know I keep hearing right tackle. This is a spot it wouldn't, and again with running back, I wouldn't be shocked if they obviously Jackson's under contract, he's going to come back. Wouldn't be shocked if they brought back Brandon Shell. Brandon Shell goes on the market. Is he a slam dunk guy to be signed by a team as a starter? I don't think so. He may look at the Dolphin situation and look at what they have and say, I'm going to come back there, I'm beating out Austin Jackson. So, and then for the Dolphins, you got the security blanket with Shell, and you can give Jackson another look, because the Dolphin coaches were talking about how promising he looked. And truth is, we don't know, because we didn't see him practice, and he barely played because he got hurt pretty quickly, both early in the season and when he come back. So I kind of be surprised if there was a big splash signing. I know Mike McGlinchey said yesterday in a radio interview in San Francisco that based on the scuttlebutt he heard at the combine, he's expecting to sign pretty quickly. John Lynch said last week, don't see a way we can keep him. And of course, you do the connection to Mike McDaniel, and is it somebody who logically is going to come to Miami? But as I indicated in a story I wrote today, updating our free agent tracker, which will be updated again not too long after I wrap up with you here. There's plenty of 49er hooks around the NFL, including Rand Carthon, who's now the GM in Tennessee, and Tennessee's O-line badly needs help. And then there's a hookup connection in Houston with DeMeco Ryans as the new head coach, and that O-line's a complete mess, except for our good friend Laramie Tunsil at left tackle.
Okay. When you look at the quarterback situation, we've talked about this many times. Where are you at now that we're getting close to free agency? We all know, those of us with common sense, Tua's the guy. They're not looking for a number one guy, but they are going to look for. McDaniel said that Skyler's not going to go unchallenged. Where will that challenge come from? Will it come from the draft, or will it come from free agency? What's your gut tell you there?
It makes zero sense if the idea, again, unless they do what we talked about Monday, which is take the big shot with Hendon Hooker if he slides.
Right.
It makes zero sense to draft another young developmental quarterback to challenge what you have, which is a young developmental quarterback. So to me, it's a no-brainer. You go for a veteran who is a good fit in terms of durability, in terms of mindset, where this is not somebody who's going to come in and hoping he's going to start, somebody who's comfortable with being a backup. Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco. We can throw out Gardner Minshew, but folks in Philly, I know, aren't necessarily that high on him. I heard Marcus Mariota thrown out. No, thank you. No, thank you. Outside of that, I heard somebody, Jameis Winston, mention, and no thank you either, because you need – the offense is based on quick decision, getting rid of the ball quickly, and I don't really think that's Jameis Winston's forte, number one. And number two, I kind of have the feeling that he may be looking for someplace where he has at least a shot to start. without looking at the list again, I think those are the two guys. For some reason, I keep going back to those two guys who, to me, wouldn't even rule out the possibility of Jacoby Brissett.
Jabroni.
He's another one who maybe doesn't process quickly, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker guy, and he'll be okay understanding his role.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, the only thing is I don't know if he really fits there. By the way, I was just reminded Saga is a Canadian band.
On the Loose.
Yeah, that's right. Tonight we're on the loose.
That's a great song.
That's a great song. And actually that album is pretty good. The band is also from Canada. I did not know that. It's a good one. Somebody is asking question for you. What was the first CD you bought with your own money?
If I had to guess, because it's been a long time, this was something I had as a record and as a.
Sean's making fun of you. He says that would be a tape or an 8-track.
Oh no! The first thing I bought was a 45 actually.
Yeah, me too.
First CD probably Supertramp, Crime of the Century.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And by the way, they are Canadian too, right?
They're British.
Oh, they're British. That's right. That's right. Hodgins is British. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. He is British. I did see them once, but just him. I didn't get to see the Supertramp band.
You saw him at Hard Rock Stadium, and he played 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw him at Jerry Park in 1979, where the Expos used to play.
Wow.
It was a great concert.
And that was Breakfast in America?
Breakfast in America, yep.
Wow. Okay. All right. A lot of people don't figure that the album cover is an airplane window looking out into New York City.
A great cover.
Right. A lot of you what is this? And then you're looking, oh yeah, she's supposed to be a statue. Okay, but what is it? And then it's, you don't realize you're actually looking out an airplane window at New York City, but in the way that they formed it. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. All right, what do you got going on Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, as I mentioned, I got the free agency tracker that I keep updating. I did I was at the Mike Pouncey press conference today for his official contract signing and retirement, and all sorts of other good. Can't speak anymore. Take 2 other goodies on the site.
There you go. He's printing articles like the U.S. prints money. So there's a lot of articles coming out. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Alan, as always, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you immensely.
You got it. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. And EJD Construction, you call my guy Eric. And listen, whatever it is you've got in your little mind that you want to create for your home, custom home construction, major home remodeling, EJD Construction can handle it. 305-433-4843, fully insured, liability, and what's it called? The workers' comp. So you're not going to get sued. And whatever project you want to do, they got it. It's not a handyman thing. We're talking about you need to redo your roof. You need to upgrade your roof to make sure that you pass the inspection for your new policy for hurricane insurance. Because if you don't have your roof upgraded nowadays and your roof is older than 20 years, you're not going to get that new policy. And in South Florida, you need hurricane insurance, okay? So call them, EJD Construction. You want to build a second floor, you want to build a new room, whatever it is that your mind is thinking that you need, okay? We have a listener that had to remediate their entire home because it got on fire, so they have to gut it all out and restart, and they can do that too. So you name it, whatever it is that you need, you got to modernize that kitchen, EJD Construction, 305-433-4843.
You've been listening to the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDConstruction.com is your custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
gotta ride. He says Pouncey tattooed his dome. He did. He's got a tattoo on his head now. That shit's gotta hurt, bro. I mean, I don't have any tattoos. But I hear that it's like a painful process, right? There's some pain that goes with it. So I can imagine that if you're doing it in sensitive areas, like some of you that do it in the genital area or face or head or something, I got to imagine that hurts even more. I don't know. Again, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe I'm making more than what it is. I've never done it, so I have no idea. But from what I hear, it's not supposed to be very pleasant all the time there, right? And I got to imagine that when you do it in sensitive areas, oh my God. That is crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What else do we have to talk about in today's world? You see, Sean Payton has a motivational tool for his Broncos team. Did you hear about this? He's putting down a broken down car in front of the facility. So when the players walk in, they see it. But the broken down car has no rear view mirror and no side mirrors. Why? Because he doesn't want the players looking back. He doesn't want them thinking about what happened last year. It's a new year. They're turning the corner and they're looking ahead. I personally hate all this shit. Okay? These guys don't need this kind of crap to motivate them. And I don't, listen, I might be 1,000% wrong. Won't be the first time. I just think that this thing is going to be a disaster. That's what I think. I really think that this is going to be a disaster. We'll see. But this Sean Payton just, I don't know. There's something about him. Let me see. He's got blonde hair? Oh, no, that's just shiny. Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, he has like some kind of tat inside. Yeah. 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 I don't know. We gotta get him on the show and ask him. That's what we gotta do. And talk about it. Big O Boston, yes, it is a guitar. All of them are guitars. Yes. Every one of them that are flying around, they're not a spaceship. It's a guitar upside down. Very good. You are correct, sir. Big O, I wonder if Peyton forgot to take out the backup cameras as well. It's just those props, Sperano had what is it, to let the wolf eat or something like that. Wanstead had lobster traps. They were having what they called a trap game in between two big games. And so 1 week they all walk in and there's lobster traps all over the locker room. So don't fall for the trap. We've seen them put out, a bit of cheese. Don't go for the cheese. I just think that all these things are stupid. They have nothing to do with winning. And these aren't kids, man. They're grown ass men, and they're getting paid. And you know how you motivate a player? That you know what you're doing. So if Sean Payton knows what he's doing and coaches them up right, that's how the guys are going to be motivated. They're not going to be motivated because they saw some kind of a lobster trap. Feed the wolf. Give me a break, dude. None of this stuff ever works. And I see this shit with Sean Payton, and it's like, okay, no, this ain't starting off well. I get that, it's going to be maybe some tension between him and Russell, right? Because I don't think he wanted to work with Russell Wilson. As much as Russell Wilson wanted to work with him, he didn't want to work with Russell Wilson. And now he's got to try to figure it out this season if he can. Because there's already reports that Russell will have a short leash on what's going on. So I'm sure when he took over the team, he said, hey, I get it that we paid him this money, but I'm not going to play him if I don't think he's the guy. And then they probably told him, you do what you have to do. You're the head coach. But I saw that whole thing about a broken down car in front of the facility, and it's like, yeah, not good. Not good. We'll see. But then again, listen, although I still might be right because like I tell you all the time, anybody could have a good day, good week, good month, good year. But Dan Campbell did better than I expected. Now, maybe this year they regress and they get back to being the Lions again, and it was an aberration, and I was right. But he did better than I expected, and we'll see if he can continue. If he does it this year again, then, they've turned the corner then. That's for sure.
Maybe Sean Payton, the car wasn't a motivational piece. It's more looking at what the result's going to be, the train wreck.
Okay. All right. So he's predicting.
Yeah, he's removed the mirror so far, but by the end, the car's going to be totally demolished.
Right.
And look like the train wreck that's going to probably be coming.
Okay. I like that. Lobster traps would have just made me hungry. It's probably what happened. Yeah. I brought the butter. Where are they? That kind of stuff. I got it. 85% of the time when coaches do these props, they get fired. It's never good. NFL Neanderthal is motivated by symbolism and nuance. Sean Payton and Russ is going to be a train wreck. I'm going to enjoy watching. All those 10-year veterans on the team, they see Payton using these props and are like, this dude's serious? Exactly. That's exactly right, Ray. That's exactly it.
He should have just loaded the car with money.
Right.
I mean, like whoever performs gets the money.
That's motivation. That's motivation. Yeah, the team MVP gets the carload of money. Sean Payton is such an overrated coach. He wasn't that good without Drew Brees. Yeah. Well, we're going to find out now, right? Because he's going to draft his own quarterback. And he's never drafted and developed his own quarterback. Okay? Because Drew Brees was already turning the corner the last year in the Chargers. I was going to say San Diego, and I'm actually right because at that moment it was San Diego. And then I just caught myself and I said Chargers. When that was the one moment I could have still gotten away with San Diego. The car is Russell, maybe. Oh, who's the worst play-by-play guy in South Florida history? I say it's Josie Gacki and Cephalo. Nothing personal with them, but man, brutal. Oh, I enjoy Josie. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay? I enjoy Josie. I'll leave it like that. We'll just leave it there. You figure out the rest. Okay? A bag of money hanging from the ceiling like a QB gate. Exactly. Never forget Sean Payton went 6 years going 7-9 with a Hall of Fame quarterback and a talented offense. Yeah. To me, I think it's going to be a disaster, but we'll see. We shall see what we shall see, right? That's basically it. What else do we have going on in the world of sport? Oh, Kevin Durant is injured. But I mean, like, shocker, he's injured.
Did you see the video of the injury, though?
No.
Oh. He goes in just for a regular layup.
Yeah.
And it's like his shoe got caught in the floor. And it looked like, I mean, I just saw the video. I didn't see anything after. The way his leg goes and like it looked pretty bad.
Well, they got him out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Again, because I'm not the size of Kevin Durant or anything like that, but it looked serious. It looked serious.
Really?
Yep. Because at first
I read all about it. I didn't watch it. Again, I was at a concert last night.
I thought like they said like he fell or like he tripped or something. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. And then when you watch it, it's almost like a non-contact injury for a football player. It's kind of like what I would, I guess, equate it to.
Okay. I didn't see it last night. But I mean, you know what? Maybe I can. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I got it up now, and the video too. Let me see, because I got a stinking commercial in the way, so I've got to wait for the damn commercial to end so I can actually see it. Let me see. Here it is. Layup line. Okay. Oh. Yeah, it was Kevin Durant's injury. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Yeah, it was ugly. But then he's kind of like, he's tightening his shoe back up. Oh, let me see. Oh no, this is actually again. Oh, okay, so this is a replay of it. Okay. No. He went back to, after he twists his ankle, he stays playing.
Okay, I didn't see that.
And then I guess he must have left after that, and then he's out 4 to 6 weeks. Oof. But he's always had injury history. Unfortunately, that's been a thing with Kevin Durant. That's bad. Steve Calabro, he's in the house. He's ready to go.
There you go. How the hell you doing?
Well, not better than you, because you're giving away a Mercedes. I mean, you're like Santa Claus here.
April 1st. The people aren't believing us.
Alfa Romero, then a Ford F-150 Lightning, and now a Mercedes-Benz, dude.
But they're not believing because it's April 1st. But it's really going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I'm telling you.
It's going to happen.
It's a beautiful car. I'm not a Mercedes fan, but I'd buy that. I'd drive that thing.
Well, yeah, of
that's
course.
A nice one.
It's a nice one.
It's like it's a Mercedes with an iPad in it.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's almost like I like toys in my cars. As many toys and options as you can get. And this one's got some nice toys.
Yeah,
it's a beauty.
It's like when you're a kid and somebody pulls in with a new Cadillac. And the Cadillac always was the car that had the most bells and whistles. Every time it had all the newest gadgets of whatever it was, Cadillac was always on top of it.
I could tell you, I'm going to tell you a gadget that I don't think I could do without. Like we all really would have a hard time. This is not what I'm going to say one before that. We really would have a hard time without like automatic windows, right? I mean, like, come on, or door locks, that would be like my kids. I remember my kids were about in their teens, they're about in their late teens. And somehow I got an old truck and it didn't have power windows and power doors. And they thought it was really cool that you had to wind up the window. They were like thinking it was good because they'd never seen it, So that's something you never imagined. But I got another gadget on a car that I think is a no-brainer.
Well, I like the electric window one because that.
No, but the blind spot mirror. Do you have where your rear view mirror has a little light? I gotta tell you, I don't think I could buy because I have it in my car and they don't have it in my wife's car, and I think I'm get myself in trouble when I drive I don't think I want to drive my wife's car because you get a little lazy because you look over, you see the thing, you don't move over.
Right.
And then when I'm driving her car. I look over, I don't see it because it doesn't have the gadget.
Right, it doesn't have it. Right.
I can get myself in a jam.
And sometimes, yeah.
Whoa,
wait a minute. I didn't see it. I had blind spot.
The blind spot light, I love it. I don't think I'll ever buy a car that doesn't have it.
Yeah, no, that's
and
actually,
the Mercedes has it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. But you're not eligible. That's the problem.
I am not eligible. I am not. I'm going to have
Sean is eligible.
Sean's eligible. He is. Sean could, all you have to do is play. You come in, the more you play, the more entries you get.
That's it.
You don't even have to win or lose. Doesn't matter. If you win, you still earn
hundreds
entry.
and hundreds of machines here, so you get to play and you get to get in.
What was
for
the number?
Mercedes
What
giveaway.
was the number? Did you say you want me to say the number again?
I just said hundreds. No, that's it.
You don't want me to say the
Hundreds.
number?
No,
huh?
don't say the number because the next
It
time
went
we
up a
got to
little.
give tickets.
It went up a little from the last time.
It went up a little. Okay, all right, good.
Literally in the last 10 days, it went up about 7 or 8. We squeezed them in the back corner there. Honestly, it's a true story. I mean, you think I'm not?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised while you guys are doing boxing in the back area where the roof is, that you didn't have some kind of tables or stuff like that while people are.
We can't. It's all we're so heavily regulated. The casino.
So you can't really move it around.
No, it has to be in a confined area. And confined like the slots at least. So the confined area has to be 4 walls, and the entrances are all monitored by security. It's kind of like
because I was thinking about that the other day. I was going, can you imagine if you can bring out some tables and then some people could be playing, blackjack and watching boxing?
Would be cool as hell. It's
super cool.
It's sort of like the blackjack tables in the pools in Vegas.
Right.
Come on, that's as cool as it gets. You swim up to a blackjack table. You got a couple hundred wet dollar, $100 bills, and but you're looking cool and. You walk, the sights are ridiculous.
What's the name of that hotel? It's got the big ass pool with all the big screens and all that.
The new one downtown.
Yeah, the one in downtown, the one in Fremont.
Yeah. So I was told the best experience to watch Monday Night Football. 2 guys, and we were gonna go. We're gonna go next year, because we go out for the show on Monday. And we watch Monday Night Football, which is 5 o'clock.
We could talk to Mr. Brunetti and build something like that here with all those pools and the big screens.
Well, we can't because they won't let us put. Vegas is the regulators are really cool. They want to put the blackjack tables in the pool. Our guys are like, they're nice.
Okay, so we don't put the
good,
blackjack
cool.
tables, but but can you imagine in the middle of the track we make it all pools and big screens and all that? That would become the ultimate sports bar.
Well,
in South Florida.
So John Brunetti could get inspired when I take him out there to Vegas in this October.
That's it.
We're going there because he wants to go, and because we were together.
Ideas?
Yeah, well, when we were together, when the people were ranting and raving about how great this, I forget the name of that hotel. It was it's
with a C, man. I forgot, but it's like
it's downtown.
It's not Circus, but it's
Circa.
Circa.
Yes, Circa. Yes, Circa.
That's it.
And their pool is just knocked down the best. But I do have another thing to talk about besides the Mercedes.
Okay.
All these quarterbacks and free agency. So Daniel Jones making $40 million, Lamar being represented by himself.
The Giants thing, they were locked in a awkward position because they didn't want to lose Saquon. But then they couldn't tag him because then they have to let Jones go and then test the market, which again to me is crazy that they even gave him that contract, but whatever. I'm not necessarily still a Daniel Jones believer, but I think they wanted to keep both and keep the continuity of it, and so that's why they agreed to one and then tagged the other. But apparently they're going to give him a contract too when it's all said and done. But
I hope it's so. I heard they offered about 13. The tag is 10,
right?
10 change. And I think they offered him somewhere around 13, but I hope maybe it inches up to like 15 or 16 because I understand he's a running back. He's not a quarterback.
And he's injury prone. I wouldn't want it to go up to 15 if I'm the Giants fan.
No, I'm sort of on his side personally.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying.
Not on
I
the
get what you're saying.
management
But
side
if I'm the team, he's an injury prone guy. He's had a lot of injuries.
But he looked like a beast this year.
Because he's always been a beast.
But this year he was looking good.
If he stays healthy, he's a beast. But he plays a collision position. So
yeah. All right, Lamar Jackson, represented by his mother. Now I know it's represented by himself.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, come on.
Stupid.
I don't know if most of your viewers, they're astute sports fans, so they probably know this, but the maximum that a agent can charge an NFL player is 3%.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm sure that Lamar could have got a 2% deal, and then there's so much more that agent can do for the player.
That's stupid. It's short-sighted.
I mean, what he played for this year was under what he should have played for.
Well, he should have had his contract 2 years ago.
Right, exactly. So
he had a real agent.
And this year was $23 million, right?
Right.
So and then next year he's going to play. Well, at this point in time.
Right.
He'll play for $32 million. Here's a guy that should be playing for way more than that. I don't understand how he's messing up. He's a kid from Pompano Beach. I get it, but doesn't he understand the value of spending a couple $1 million?
No,
for an agent.
No, it's very ignorant.
It's
there's no other way to. It's just dumb. It's not good business. It's there's a reason why there are agents for certain businesses. You need it. So if you're an actor or an actress, you need it. If you're in my business, you need it. If you're an athlete, you need it. It's just the way it is. There are certain things because they will open doors for you. They know more people than you. They will open up opportunities for you. It's just different, man. You've got to be able to understand that you're going to make more money in the long term with an agent than you are without him because you're worried about giving away 1%, 2%, or 3%. Come on, dude.
Give me a break. I mean, so
you either get 97, 98, or 99%. That isn't enough for you?
Yeah. Out of a $274 million contract?
I mean,
I don't know. Come on. That's borders on, a little dumb,
stupid.
Right? A little
It's
dumb, right?
stupid.
So where do you think he ends up? You think he plays in Baltimore? Because there's a lot of teams being talked about. Like,
I think he stays in Baltimore after a long holdout.
So, okay, that's certainly one scenario and a very likely one. But they're talking like Detroit could grab him. They have the first-round draft picks.
I know that, but Jared Goff actually played well for them.
Yeah.
I don't think that head coach. See, we just talked about this with Andy Behrens before. It's not just about giving up the 2 first-round picks. It's not about just giving up the fully guaranteed contract. You now have to change your entire offense to accommodate him. So you have to run a specific offense for Lamar Jackson. He can't come in and take over here in Miami and run the same offense because he's not a passer.
Okay, what about
he's a runner?
Okay, you know who could do that? The Colts. They could change their whole offense.
But why would they?
Because they're in major transition as it is.
Yeah, but Frank Reich is not he's not going to have a running offense.
No, Colts.
Isn't it? Isn't Frank Reich at
Reich's gone. Oh, Reich's out.
Who's at the Colts now?
What's his name? Reich is out.
But isn't it a quarterback guy also?
It is an offensive guy. Might be a quarterback guy. Reich's at what's his name? Carolina.
It's like Washington. I don't think that the new coordinator who came from Kansas City, the enemy, is going to want to run that kind of an offense when he wants a passer, and that's where he came from. Who is it? Oh, okay. So the Eagles offensive coordinator. So yeah, that is a little like it. That's a little like
now. The Colts is the Colts are a possibility. Yeah. Total transition, offensive coordinator.
That's a good one.
That's an interesting one.
That's a good one.
Now the thing is, the Colts could offer him a nice deal, a better deal. And Baltimore can match it.
But does anybody want to give him a fully guaranteed contract?
All right, so I want to.
That's what he keeps waiting for, supposedly.
And I think he's stuck on Cleveland ownership's mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. At some point, somebody needs, maybe an agent could tell him, or maybe his mother will. But
he would probably fire the agent for telling him that.
But basically, you got to say, you know what, Deshaun Watson got unbelievably lucky. He found a team that was, frivolous in terms of how they were going to spend. Because now I do believe that Baltimore's $274 million offer was a good offer. I think the 133 guaranteed could have been a little higher, and I think an agent could have got him like 150 or something like that, or 100.
Well,
maybe even 180.
That would have happened 2 years ago. The problem is now he's dead set on the Watson deal.
Yeah, he's
and I don't know if anybody is going to give him, that complete deal. The Indy one is actually kind of interesting, but again, does Indy want to give up the 2 first-round picks? Do they want to give up a fully guaranteed contract and change their entire offense for him?
But maybe
that's the question.
Maybe, and I'm going to say something. You're going to say
a huge question.
I'm going to give you your answer before I say, not a chance. You're going to say, right? But maybe Indy doesn't have to give him fully guaranteed. They give him $180 million. That's $30 million a year guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't know.
You know what I mean? And still $275 million. And look, I think there's bad blood in Baltimore too.
Oh yeah.
It's been a little bit dicey to say the least. But anyhow,
But again, I don't know who to blame there. Am I blaming Baltimore because they don't want to give him a fully guaranteed? No, I'm not.
No, I got to blame.
And I got to say something. He still shows me that he does nothing in the playoffs. After all that, it's a regular season offense that gets stopped in the playoffs every single time. And in the regular season, it's really hard to prepare for that from week to week because nobody can, actually do it as in practice throughout the week to get you prepared for it. So it's something that gives them a little bit of an advantage. But then once you get to the playoffs, the elite defenses are there now.
Yeah,
and then they find a way to slow him down.
Yeah, they can contain
and
him.
They do what they do with Derrick Henry. That, okay, let's stack the box, make the quarterback beat us. And so that's what they do. They stack the box and they say, Lamar, make your arm beat us.
And then it gets troublesome. Now, I can tell you, it'll be interesting in a year, definitely in 2 years, because the Deshaun Watson mistake could be it could be 5 times bigger. What happens if Deshaun doesn't work out?
It will then become the owner's weapon.
Yeah.
Because
the owners will be able to use it as
you see, this is why we don't do it, because 1, it risks injury, and 2, look, there's a player that's a complete waste, and they're paying him all this money, which I think that's what the owners are wishing. They're hoping that Deshaun Watson is a disaster, so that way it doesn't justify it in any way possible.
Yeah.
And so far it hasn't, because he didn't look good. So, when he came back, we'll see now that he has an off season and all that, will he return to form?
If they are under 500 and they don't make the playoffs, I think it's entering the failure zone.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's
for sure.
Definitely entering the failure zone. If they go 2 years where they're like a 9-18, it's a failure.
It's a failure.
You know what I mean? You're paying that much money, but I don't know. The good thing is here, moving off of the football.
Well, the good thing for Cleveland is they will be at the Hall of Fame game to celebrate their player going into the Hall of Fame. So there you go. At least they get to celebrate that. That was smart, by the way, by the Hall of Fame to use Cleveland, and the Jets are getting 2 players into the Hall of Fame. So it's Jets and the Browns in the Hall of Fame game.
That's very cool.
We were hoping Miami, but those are 1, Cleveland is right there, and then 2, New York is a much bigger market. And Dallas was going to have also. Dallas has 2 players going in, and then they travel and their ratings.
And we have 1.
We have 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Dallas Cowboy fan base and the ratings and all that crap.
Yeah, the nationwide American team.
All that crap.
But one last thing about football, and then I'll get off football because it's just my opinions, but the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. You think it happens, yay or nay?
I think it actually may happen, but I think it's going to be a disaster.
I'm hoping it's – so here's – as a Dolphin fan and as an anti – and let me just say before I say anti, I think Aaron Rodgers is a very talented guy.
Yeah, but he's an asshole.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
You.
So I'm not a big fan, right? So I'm an anti-Aaron.
You don't have
guy.
to. You don't have to preface anything.
Well, there's probably
I think most of us know that the guy's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, although Big O, I was thinking about just going into a dark room for a week or so. You think maybe I could just find myself, next week if Sean, maybe sometime.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, next week's hit, we'll do it from a dark room.
I think he's just a total fool. I think he's. You know what he is? I think he loves to make things that he likes to do things that create attention for him. He's almost like a kid that wants to be the most popular kid in school, but everybody hates him. But anyhow, so that being said, at some level, as a Dolphin fan, at a high level, I'd like the Rodgers to go to the Jets and for us to crush the Jets this season, both in the home game and the away game. That would just be like a beautiful thing. I
beautiful.
Think, you hate to wish. I don't wish bad on anybody, but I'm wishing good for the Dolphins against the Jets' new team. Although I will tell you, forget about Rodgers for a moment. The Jets had some moments of glory there, and when that running back got hurt, that was the problem. That was the problem.
Yeah.
That guy was a beast.
They actually have some good talent there.
That team is
like if Aaron actually goes with his head screwed on right and all that, they actually could make some noise.
So
I just kind of think he's on the way down, and I think he's going to do some stupid stuff and say stupid stuff, and I think he and the New York media are going to clash. And
It's going to be a mess. But why not Garoppolo there?
I don't know. That's a question. Now, again, I think the durability issues with Garoppolo are huge because every year practically of his career he's been injured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's would be the issue. And Garoppolo has that thing of he chokes in a big moment, and he has that also.
He got to the Super Bowl. He was winning in the fourth quarter.
And he missed that guy wide open in the end zone that he could have won.
And the defense gave up touchdowns.
No, I know.
I know he's a fellow Italian guy. Okay, so I don't want to be prejudiced here and just be rooting for him because he's got an Italian last name.
Yeah, but
he was winning in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl.
And he could have won if he hit that guy in the end zone.
He could have.
Right.
But if the Queen had balls, she'd be king. But
I'm just telling you, the rap he gets is that.
But
that's what he gets.
The defense laid down in the fourth quarter. But the defense didn't get blamed. Right now, every one of your viewers, that's San Francisco 49ers. Defense is great, right? And Garoppolo blew the game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know. I think it's a little hard. I'm not saying he's not Aaron Rodgers.
No, he's not. He's definitely not. He
Rodgers.
hasn't even accomplished any of that, but that's the problem with him. So he has that knock and the injury stuff. So if you don't trust him in key moments and he gets injured, that's kind of that's kind of a tough one right there.
Yeah. But in the New York market, he'd kick ass. He had all kinds of endorsements. Oh my God, he'd be like.
But the problem is he doesn't have Namath's personality to be able to handle the New York market. So if things go awry, I think he's kind of a shell guy.
Yeah,
He'll
shut down.
And whereas Namath could take people on, he had that personality. Jimmy's not that guy.
Listen,
so.
I'm going to leave you with this.
Okay,
you ended on a fabulous note for me. Joe Namath was a little bit of my like boyhood hero.
I'm sure for a lot of people.
Remember, this. I'm going to try to make this concise.
He's cool. He got all the women, and he was a badass quarterback.
And he was a 19-point underdog, and he guaranteed the win.
Right? Yeah.
That's about as cool as it gets. But
everything about him is cool.
But the show.
And he wore a fur coat in the sidelines.
The show, The Wonder Years.
Get away, of course.
Fred Savage is the kid, and he drives his bicycle with a Jets jacket.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is depicted in 1969. In 1969, I was 11 years old. I had a Jets jacket. I drove a little bicycle with banana handlebars. Wait! You're not going to believe this. You're all of your viewers.
You were hitting on what was her name?
Winnie.
Wendy.
Winnie.
Winnie. Were you hitting on Winnie too?
There was a Winnie in 8th grade. There was a Winnie.
Okay.
She looked like Winnie. It was she lived across the street from my best friend Tony. I forget her name right now, but she looked like Winnie. Right? You're not going to believe this. Okay, I also was a huge Mets fan, the amazing Mets. I can recite the entire 69 lineup, Jerry Grody, Ed Kranepool, Kenny Boswell, but the whole crew, right? The starting rotation. So you say, I thought that they did a television show about Steve Calabro. It was The Wonder Years. Now you're saying, Steve, come on, it's coincidence. What? Let me just share with you one factoid. The creator of The Wonder Years is about 4 or 5 years older than me, and went to my high school.
Wow.
And lived in my hometown. Remember, Fred Savage was 12 in the show Wonder Years, wearing a Jets jacket, rooting for Joe Namath. I was 11.
So you just sue him?
I think he stole my life. This guy, the creator.
You got to sue him, bro. You got to sue him for doing that.
No, what? There's 1 year off. I was 11. Fred Savage was 12.
It's NIL, bro. You got to name, image, likeness.
It was my life. It was my life. I'm driving around with a bicycle with banana handlebars.
You need to sue him, dude. Yeah.
I'd be somebody.
Yeah, you wouldn't be talking to us schmucks. You'd actually be somewhere.
Anyhow, I just wanted to share that. It's all factoid true. The creator of the Wonder Years went to John F. Kennedy High School.
There you go.
So did I.
Fred Calabro.
Already.
General manager here at Hialeah Park.
Winnie.
Yeah.
I forget her
So
name.
if you want to Winnie a
was
Mercedes Benz, come on down and play here and meet Fred Calabro. Okay, it'll be a wonder for you to meet him.
Oh, good.
It'll make your year.
No pun intended. Please.
That's what it's all about.
Make
So,
your year. It's a
and
wonder.
who knows, if you win that Mercedes, you might be able to go pick up Winnie, whoever was your Winnie back in the day. You can go visit her and see what happened to me. I got a Mercedes.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
Winnie since 8th grade. She went to the Catholic high school. I went to the public high school.
There you go. There you go. This is a chance, folks. Come on out here, play the games. You might win your Mercedes, and you might win your Winnie. It's a beautiful thing.
All right, Big O.
All right.
Be
All
good.
right, Steve. Appreciate you, my brother.
Take care.
Thank
All
you, my
true.
friend. Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Thank you, Steve. All right, and seriously, the Mercedes is downstairs. You got to come see it and check it out. Come play all the games, and the more you play, the more entries you earn. They will give it out on April Fool's Day. Okay, seriously, it's not a joke. Okay. Agents make between 4 and 10% of players' contracts. No, they don't. They only go up to 3%. If you guys don't know anything about the business, now entertainment business, yes, they could take up to 10%. Yeah, that could happen. In the NFL, it's no more than 3%. There's one agent that they call him 1%, and they use his last or first name actually. And he undercuts a lot of people because he takes 1%. Not going to say the guy's name. Let's see. No, they don't. No 10%. Also, another guy got it wrong. I say Jimmy goes to the Raiders, Texans, or Panthers unless the Jets can't get Rodgers. I like that, Jason. I think that's about right. I think Rodgers will end up there in New York when it's all said and done, because New York will be desperate enough to do the things that Green Bay needs for compensation purposes. And then I can see Garoppolo ending up in those areas. Makes sense. And I think, by the way, the Raiders are going to be like kind of desperate to get him because they'll need they're not going to get an elite quarterback, so they'll get another guy. And I think Garoppolo would be a guy. And plus he knows him too. So he knows the system. Yes.
I just do for the chatters it's sports agents generally receive between 4 and 15 of the playing contract and 10 to 20% of the athlete's endorsement contract, although these figures vary. NFL agents are not permitted to receive more than 3%.
Right.
And NBA agents not more than 4%.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. NFL agents, I know it's not 3. I didn't know it was 4 in the NBA. That I learned right now.
Yeah.
But I knew in the NFL that they don't get more than 3%. So now 10% in the entertainment, in my business, there are agents that take 10%. Yes. In my business. But in the NFL, it's already figured out. It's 3%. Oh, do you listen to Latin music? If so, who are you a fan of? I don't listen to any Latin pop music. None at all. I have no interest in it whatsoever. Never have, never will. I really don't even take the music seriously, to be quite honest. That's pretty insulting, but I don't. I listen to, Paquito de Rivera. I listen to Jesus Alemani, Mario Bauza, like Cuban jazz, Latin jazz, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I listen to. Okay. There is some stuff, classic stuff, like Conjunto Universal, that is kind of popish, that I'll listen to a little bit. But more often than not, a lot of the stuff that they play on radio, I have zero interest in listening to Braulio or Pimpinela or any of that kind of shit. Okay. I have no interest in any of that. But I do have a major interest in in Hispanic jazz, Hispanic, music that requires like serious musicians, that kind of stuff. That I can get into, but not the pop music stuff. Pop music stuff, I have no attraction to it whatsoever. I find it cheesy as a mofo, So that's Celia's good. I can listen to Celia. Celia is one that I can listen to. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of the old stuff, kind of like Conjunto Universal. Yeah. But not that's the kind of stuff you dance to. Okay? Little merengue and that kind of stuff. I that to enjoy it in that sense in the dancing, I can do that. But to like hang out in my house or the car and jam like, Latin pop, no. No, I'd rather have bamboo shoved in my nails. Who do I want as my backup QB? I've said it already. Give me the porn stash. Minshew, Gardner Minshew, Andy Dalton. Give me something like that as my backup, and I'm fine. I'm good with that. Basically, you don't like Chusma music. Can't say I blame you, bro. Devin Jordan. This is the first super chat of the day, right? Big O, what's your thoughts on Sean Kemp's? I don't know the facts. My problem with the Sean Kemp story, doggy, is it a drive-by? Because there's some report that somebody stole something from him, and I think a phone or something, I think is what I read, and that he went tracking the phone, and when he went to find the guy that had the phone, the guy shot at him and he shot back. I don't know what the real story is, so I got to get all the facts. I don't know. Was he defending himself? Was he assaulted? I don't know. I don't know. So until you tell me exactly what went on, Devin, I don't have an opinion. The only opinion I have is, how did Sean Kemp get really fat doing cocaine? It's weird. No, obviously not. You're supposed to look like Pookie. Like he ate his way out of the league with cocaine. It's weird. That's Devin. Get me to the answer to that story from 20 years ago. How did he eat his way out of the league with cocaine? That's what I want. Inquiring minds want to know. Just saying. This guy was skinny, got fat, and even fatter. And he had a cocaine problem. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't add up. Was he snorting baking soda? Was he snorting like sugar? Reggaeton, doesn't do much for me, to be quite honest. No, I'm not much of a reggaeton guy. Yeah. Now, if you want to play some reggaeton and my wife wants to shake her ass in front of me at the house, I'm good with that. Okay. Let's see. I don't blame you for not liking reggaeton at all. I'm not a big fan of it either. Yeah, it's kind of all sounds the same to me. And listen to Yoko Ono. Maybe Kemp forgot to take cocaine light. I don't know what it was, bro, but it was the weirdest thing in the world. So that fat guy has a cocaine problem? No, you're lying to me. He's smoking too much and eating too much. That's what he's doing, right? He can't be on cocaine.
Maybe he's snorting the powdered sugar from the funnel cakes.
You had to have. He had to have. Besides Greta yesterday going to that concert, some really good news was announced this morning. The Cure July 1st at Miami-Dade Arena, baby. I will see you there. That is one of my favorite bands of all time, The Cure. My 4 bands, okay, that I kill to see anytime, anywhere. This has been my life forever. We have newer bands like Greta I go see anywhere, but they're not at this level that, and it's Iron Maiden, it's U2, it's The Cure, and The Fix. Those 4 bands, I will kill to see those 4 bands. As many times as I possibly can see them, I love those bands. Okay? Those are my favorite bands right there. Those 4. So The Cure, I do not miss. I saw them the last time they came, both nights at Bayfront. And they did 54 different songs in 2 nights. 54 different songs in 2 nights. Okay? Do me a favor, look up the Cure tour dates, 2023. Do they perform anywhere else in Florida? Because I'm thinking I might go to the other concert wherever it is in Florida, because 60% of that concert will be completely different than the one I'm going to see in Miami. They got to play another date in Florida, bro. It can't be only Miami. That's the only thing I didn't look up this morning. When I saw that come across my email, I was like, all right, I love it. The Cure's coming, baby. Yeah. Speaking of Pookie, did you catch the Chris Rock Netflix special? Dude got crispy. Yes, I saw it. I talked about it on Monday. 2 days after or 2 days before? So June 29th, Tampa, and July 1st, Miami. Okay, so I'm going to go to both. I'm going to go to the Tampa one too. Definitely. I'm going to go to the Tampa one. So I'll go to both. So those of you in Tampa, I'll see you there. And here in Miami, I'll see you there. I'll be at both. Got to go to both. What were you guys? Oh, yes, Chris Rock. I talked about it on Monday, I think it was, on the show, or Tuesday. I don't know if you did. Did you do anything on that? Did you do a segment on that one? Yeah. No? Okay. Just so I said the same. I'll say the same thing I said the other day. The special wasn't that good. It wasn't that funny. If you're honest with yourself, it wasn't that funny. It wasn't like Bigger and Blacker, right? Was the one. It wasn't like, I could come up with a few other Chris Rock stand-ups that are way better than this one. It was forced. It was like he was dying to get to the end almost. He even forgot a joke and everything, and the order of it and all that. I didn't find it to be laughing my ass off funny. I wasn't Richard Pryor on the Sunset Strip. It wasn't Eddie Murphy Raw or Delirious. It wasn't a whole bunch of George Carlin stand-ups that were way better than that. A bunch of Chris Rock ones that are way better than that. This was a mediocre performance when it came to the first 55 minutes of the show of comedy. It was all right. I looked over to my wife and I said, I'm not really laughing a lot. I think there was once where I kind of, laughed a little bit. But if you're honest with yourself, the stand-up routine itself wasn't that funny. There was a lot of, the man had a lot of shit on his chest to get out. And that's kind of what it was. And by the way, God bless him. He needed to get this off his chest. He needed to express himself. Okay? He needed to do it. That therapy was required for Chris Rock. Okay? That's the part I totally understand about that special with Chris Rock. The therapy was justifiable. It was needed. It was required. It was therapeutic for him. So he deserved that moment because he was thoroughly embarrassed. And not that any of us are holding anything against him. We hold it against Will And let me tell you something where I was wrong. When it first happened, I was behind Will. I had no problem defending your wife. Now, I didn't know about this whole mess. My God, we all found. I'm sure most of us had no idea what was going on and this whole mess. And she's banging, her son's friend, and he has his own, relationships of playing for the home team or playing, for another team or whatever. And so it's a mess, that family. That whole thing is a mess. And I had no idea that it was this. Like we were now led into how messy of a relationship that is, how much she cared about Tupac and all that. All these kind of things that if you didn't know, you found out. And then it just became like a really disturbing story, how these people act like parents and why maybe their two kids are kind of screwed up. You know what I'm saying? But if you're honest with yourself, the stand-up was mediocre. It wasn't really a good stand-up at all. I wouldn't require that stand-up to. I'm sorry. I would not require. I wouldn't recommend. Thank you. I wouldn't recommend that stand-up to anybody. I would tell them speed up to the last 10 minutes of the show and watch him talk about the Will Smith situation. And that's it. And that's all it was. And on Netflix on Saturday night. That's all it was. The rest, you can have it. I wasn't impressed whatsoever with that stand-up. Don Rickles has done 100 stand-ups better than that. I could just go on and talk about all kinds of Sebastian Maniscalco, right? I'm probably butchering his last name. I've seen several of his stand-ups that are way better than the shit I watched on Saturday night from Chris Rock. He forced this special, okay? But I understand the method behind it, okay? I get it. To go back to an old Chris Rock line, right? I don't condone it, but I understand. So I'm not the condone it part, but I understand. I'll take that line from an old Chris Rock stand-up. Tons of stand-ups that I'd rather see than that one. That one, you can forget about it. You can throw it in the trash. Give me the last 10 minutes and we're done. Knight, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Zadarius Smith asked for his release. Flo's making friends. Oh, man. My buddy is a drug and alcohol counselor, and she said that it's common for people on powder can go without eating and then after gorge themselves, typically stuff high in sugar. So you get really coked up, and then when you come down, you start eating, okay? And you eat all kinds of sugar. All right. I'm just used to seeing skinny people that are coke addicts. I just don't see a ton of fat people that are no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't see a ton of skinny people become fat while they're using cocaine. Now, there are fat people that then go use cocaine. Well, then, John Belushi is a great example. That's a fat guy that was on cocaine all the time. So I get that part, but he was already fat. Like Sean Kemp was skinny, and all he did was get fatter and fatter. And it's just the weirdest story to hear that guy had a cocaine problem. And it's like, it wasn't really that much of a problem. That's kind of the way I look at it. He didn't do enough coke. Oh, man. Let's see what else. Elephant ears and funnel cakes are two different things. Oh, now you guys are screwing up with me here. How come it says funnel cakes on the damn truck and they're selling elephant ears? I don't know. You guys are tripping me out. All I know is give me my elephant ear with brown sugar and I'm fine. Okay? I wish my wife knew how to make an elephant ear. That would be like, my God. I would clean the toilets if she could do that. What else do we have? Karen says, is the Cops theme considered reggae music? If so, that's my favorite reggae song. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? It is reggae. It is reggae, and it is super catchy. Yes, sir.
Funnel cakes are more made by pouring the dough into a bottle or funnel, hence the name funnel cakes, then squeezing out slowly to create long, stringy dough lines. Elephant ears, on the other hand, are made by rolling the dough flat, almost like a pizza, so it is thin. So there's your two difference. There's your differences.
Okay.
The elephant ears, I guess, are the thinner ones, whereas the fluffier ones are technically funnel cakes.
Oh, okay. Fluffy. Big O, I ain't gonna lie. Chris Rock did sound like he was venting. Yeah, and you know what, Devin? He deserves to vent. Everything he did that night on Saturday was justified. Okay? He had to give Will and Jada a lot of shit. He was right. They took their shit, or Will took his shit out on him. When deep down inside, Will has problems with himself and with Jada. Because clearly he has his own demons that he's, flip-flopping back and forth, allegedly, between sexuality. And then, obviously, he's also got to worry about, his wife who's, screwing around and all that kind of stuff. And that she has this, undying commitment to a guy that's not even on Earth anymore, and Tupac Shakur. So, yeah, I have no problem. You can tell he was venting. You know what I mean? It's just, I love the last 10 minutes like the rest of us. Just don't come up to me and tell me, oh, dude, that special was great. It was hilarious. If you're really honest, it was not hilarious. You weren't laughing your ass off the entire time. And you were waiting for the end. And you know what? I have no problem with any of it. So, let's see. You can tell that slap still hurt him. Of course it did, bro. That's a humongous embarrassment in front of everybody. Even if we're all behind him, Chris Rock, and not Will, it's still tough for him to go through it. And it's on video, and it's going to be, part of whatever. And every time we have an award show, it's going to be brought up. So yeah, he has to relive it. It's a lot like, it's not the perfect analogy, but it's a lot like people that are abused. And then they've got to go to court and they've got to relive it. And it's just tough. And sometimes this is why people that get abused, they don't report it, because they don't want to keep reliving it with the authorities, with confronting their abuser, with going to court and all that. It's been such an embarrassing situation. They just want to bury it and move on. You know what I mean? And in this case, it's kind of the same thing. So yeah, I'm with you. Dave Chappelle is, oh God, yes. All of Dave Chappelle's stand-ups were way funnier. Chris Rock's stand-ups are awesome. I'm just saying this one was not even close. Mediocre. Okay. Joseph Bell asked, our QB's offseason focus is to fall correctly, no getting faster or stronger, to escape the pocket better. How embracing. If you ever wonder what she at QB, just think jiu-jitsu, dumbest thing. Hey, Joseph Bell, before you talk stupid shit, you know what sounds stupid? Somebody that's misinformed, you dumbass. Okay? Why don't you go listen to Tua's trainer? He's there on our platform. I just interviewed him a couple days ago, or it was last week. He gave us 40 minutes. Why don't you go listen to see what they're doing with Tua? It's a lot more than jiu-jitsu. So before you open your mouth, okay, since you're stupid and misinformed and uneducated, you shouldn't talk about something. You get it? I'm not going to talk about nuclear physicists, okay, because I'm not a physicist. I'm not a nuclear physicist. So I can't. I can't talk about nuclear science. I can't tell you about this or that because I am misinformed, uneducated about it. Okay? But you may want to go listen to Tua's trainer. But I get it. You're so blindly hating Tua and dying for him to, fail since you probably thought he couldn't play. You want to go find something about jiu-jitsu. And since you don't actually follow the story and don't know exactly what Tua is doing, and you didn't listen to our interview with the trainer, and you don't listen to this platform often, and that's why you're misinformed on the Dolphins, and you're probably listening to Scott Zolak and Josina Anderson to get your Dolphins information. This is why you, Mr. Bell, are saying stupid shit. He's not just working on jiu-jitsu. So go listen to the interview and find out. Get educated before you open your mouth. Next time, ask, hey, is he doing more than jiu-jitsu? And then maybe I will actually tell you. This is the problem in our world. Right here. Okay? People are unprepared, uneducated. Like that miserable bitch, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She brings up that these 2 kids ended up dying from, COVID? No, from fentanyl. And she starts going after Biden for allowing all the fentanyl and all that stuff, which we do a shitty job at the border. You know what's the part that Marjorie Taylor Greene left out? Do you know anything about this story, Sean? The 2 guys died during the Trump era. They got fentanyl during Trump while he was in office, which, again, we've had fentanyl coming in with Obama and Bush and Trump and Biden and whatever and everybody. But that stupid bitch is uninformed, uneducated, right? And she goes out there and makes a complete ass of herself. You can at least find people that just died under this regime here, then maybe you can blame it on him if you want, if that's what your political ass wants to do. So there you go, Joseph Bell. That's the problem in our world. You probably read the headlines and you don't read the article. You're that dude. One more warning for you, Joseph Bell, and others, although a lot of them usually they know already because they've experienced it, they've watched it. If you're going to come on to the chat board and you're going to talk about something, what should you be? Prepared. Okay? Because more often than not, I'm prepared. I figured would lay the smackdown on Joseph Bell. It's just so stupid. It's like, if you don't know what's going on, don't talk about it, man. My favorite part is when he addressed the slap is when he said, the man who did concussions gave me a concussion. He also, do you think it still hurts? It hurts so much, I'm still hearing Summertime. It was the last 10 minutes, bro. That's it. The last 10 minutes. The rest of it is not even worth watching. It really isn't. There was actually a part where it was like uncomfortable. The stuff he was talking about with, getting laid and I'm trying to screw Doja Cat and all that. It's kind of awkward for an older guy to be, it's kind of, that was kind of weird. I'm telling you, it was all forced. It was like he forced all this material before the juicy stuff at the end. That's at least that's what it felt like to me. Have you watched it yet, Sean? Right. So you just remember the end because the rest wasn't right. Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's another Dolphin hater that claims to be a fan, same as these other podcasters who do nothing but insult the organization for not giving up their assets for a QB, saying they don't want to win. All they prove is that they want to win. They obviously want to. Everything has to, fall into place. Too extreme. What's up, Big O, Sean, and chat? Joseph Bell has left the chat. Oh, Maybe he went to go watch maybe he needs to go watch an interview and get an education. I came prepared with my elephant ear knowledge. Yes, you did, Michael Lehman. Yes, you did. You brought it. The last 5 minutes of Chris Rock's special was worth it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt. No doubt. Let's see. I cringe when he said that Doja Cat part. Yeah, there was some stuff that was. I'm telling you, dude, it was all forced. That's the only bad part about the special. It was forced, but then again, Chris needs to get paid, bro. You know, Netflix, I'm sure, gave up a lot of money for that special. And how many people are turning on that special and everybody knows, oh, dude, go to the end, and that's where he talks about it. I bet you how many people are now skipping most of it and going to the end. And that, right? Because if you're a friend, right? Like if a buddy of mine calls me, says, hey, oh, did you watch the Chris Rock one? I said, yeah, bro. What'd you think? I said, listen, don't watch any of it. Go all the way to the end. Watch the last 10 minutes. That's it. Watch the last 10 minutes talking about Chris Rock and Jada. That's all it is. The rest is garbage. That's what I would tell a friend of mine. And then I'd tell him, go watch Bigger and Blacker again. Go watch it 8 times. Because I can watch Bigger and Blacker over and over and over and over again. I'll never watch that special ever again. Never. I've seen Richard Pryor on the Sunset Strip. I don't know how many times. Okay? I don't know how many times I've seen Raw and Delirious. Obviously, Delirious first, then Raw. Right? It was Delirious first, then Raw. Right? Is that how it goes? Or Raw, then Delirious? The second one wasn't as good as the first one because the first one is one of the like all-time classic stand-ups of all time. Like it's top 5 of, I don't care what comedians you want to mix in, but that first one from Eddie, I think you're right. I think it is Raw. I think Delirious was the one when he was in purple. Raw's in red, Delirious in purple, I want to say. Big O, you make me sick. Hey, man, that's what my wife says all the time. So at least I have a skill set that's pretty damn good. Okay? Big O, sorry I missed most of the show. Did any news or potential free agent rumors to Miami break? Nah, nothing there. Nah. What else do we have? Big O, what's your favorite Biggie song? 83 was what? Which one? Oh, so it is Delirious first, then Raw second. Delirious is one of the greatest stand-ups of all time, dude. All freaking time. Okay? That is, for me, just like you can watch it over in a loop. So Bam Adebayo really grabbed. Yeah, I know, huh? Yesterday, that was tough, dude. Bam Adebayo had 17 points and 1 rebound. He also only shot 11 times. And, you know, when you make 8 of 11, come on, baby. Let's go shoot a few more. You're shooting at a good clip. So, yeah, it sucked. Although I got to give Jimmy a lot of love because he still produced 28 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and he went to L.A. the night before. Like, he flew there and back. That's crazy. Like, everybody's legs normally would have been dead by doing all of that, and somehow he knew he had to bring it last night because you can't justify going there and then having a crappy night. So he played his ass off, but the team is just not good, man. They don't shoot enough threes. They're a terrible 3-point shooting team, and in this era of basketball, it's just ridiculous, dude. It really is. Notorious Thugs. Get Money. Notorious B.I.G. is actually a fun song. I like that one. Trying to think of something else. Oh, I love the Dough, which I do love the Dough. Good one. A little Juicy, Sky's the Limit, Hypnotize, Who Shot Ya? He has a lot, bro. His Biggie's voice is, for me, Chuck D's my favorite of all time. That's my favorite voice. To me, that's the greatest rap voice of all. Not the greatest rapper. Not saying the greatest rapper, but my favorite voice is Chuck D. But Biggie's voice is right up there, dude. Okay? Right up there. It is magical the way that thing flows. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Today's generation couldn't handle Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Archie Bunker, George Jefferson. Yeah, no, they could not. They're too soft. They're too soft. You're right about that. I like Hypnotize and Brooklyn's Finest. Why Jay-Z is fire. And by the way, Jay-Z is really good in concert. I've seen him in concert, and he's really, really good in concert. Rap is one of those things that's very, very iffy live. Some rappers are not good live. They're just studio, and there's nothing wrong with that. But rap is one of those that is hard to translate to live. Run DMC was phenomenal live. Some can do it, and then some aren't that good. I saw Young Jeezy once and wasn't that impressed. You go see Lupe Fiasco, and he's absolutely phenomenal. And what I love about Lupe is that he'll freestyle a lot too, and he is fantastic. By the way, if you ever go see Lupe Fiasco, just a little tip. Okay, look to each side of the stage just in case his girlfriend's there with him. Because when I saw him at Revolution Live, his girlfriend was standing on the side of the stage. And I got to tell you something. Lupe did very well for himself. Okay, very well for himself. That's all I can tell you. Nate Dogg had the best voice in the hip-hop game. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg, by the way. Of all time, in my opinion, his hooks were amazing. He did have a great voice. You're right about that. Haven't listened to rap ever since Eric B. and Rakim. Damn. Looking for a master plan. Deaf with the record. Thinking of a master plan. Deaf with the record. Because ain't nothing but sweat inside my hand. All right. Damn, you gave up on rap a while back. Damn, you don't listen, I hate most of the mumble bullshit rap that goes on nowadays. Okay, but there is a Kendrick Lamar, there's a J. Cole, there's a Lupe Fiasco. There are some pretty good rappers still. Some, not a lot. It's not a lot left. It's nothing like the 80s and the 90s. Okay, today's rap is garbage next to the 90s and the 80s. Okay, that I will give it to you. But there's still some good new rappers out. Not a lot, but yeah. That mumble rap stuff is the worst, dude. God, that shit is terrible. Holy moly. That is just like flat out garbage. If you want garbage, a lot of the rap nowadays, yeah, straight up garbage. Zero talent. Eric B., I ain't no joke. Great one. Eric B. and Rakim is early 80s rap. Yep. Yeah. A little into Eric B. was still around in the early 90s. Yeah. So there you go. I'm a Papa guy. I don't blame you. Great tune. What else do we have? I think I've covered everything today. Heat lose to the Cavs last night, 24 turnovers. They got Cleveland again tomorrow night. Panthers are off tonight. They take on the Blackhawks tomorrow at FLA Live Arena. Marlins are off today. They start with the Nationals tomorrow. They're 1-9. Why did Bruce Sherman have to talk shit? Like, oh, we can compete and all that. And like, I ripped him that day for that.
Yes.
Because I knew from that moment, I've been saying it, they still don't have enough offense. What has been the problem so far? They don't have enough offense.
But I remember the Marlins usually they're like Manny Diaz. They win the Marlins are usually pretty good in spring training. Then they hit the season and they're terrible.
Oh yeah,
so maybe they're trying to. What's going on?
I don't know. Somebody hit some big stuff, bro, because people are running over to that table to go see it. Like something's going on, boy.
Some yelling and
yeah. Well, you know,
and we start talking about the Marlins. Look what happens.
Us Latin folks, we get very emotional, especially when
you only had a pair of twos. You only had a pair of twos.
So, yeah, but it's just.
No, but they haven't been able. Although
it's just irresponsible
against Israel.
But you have to
the
know.
Bats came alive, man. The Bats came alive. 11 runs.
But you have to know what you have. You have to be honest with people. I didn't need him to come out and say, "Hey, folks, we're not going to be very good this year," but just say, "Hey, I'm excited. We got a lot of young guys. I'm looking forward to seeing them grow." You're not saying you're going to win or anything. You're just saying you're excited to see them grow. And that's it. And you leave it at that.
He's got to keep the fluff up. Doesn't he have like 20 partners that he's got to keep in the business here?
Yeah,
so
he
they
has
can
like
afford
15. Yeah, it's serious. No, you're joking. It's 16 owners in that group.
It's crazy.
You know,
I got 1/20th of an ownership in the Marlins, probably.
I mean, come on, dude. But why would you tell people that when you clearly can't compete?
You're hoping to get a crowd at the Marlins Park. Think about it. Drone racing league had the bigger crowd.
Yeah, but the owner
and then you got the World Baseball Classic's going to draw crazy numbers for you.
Yeah,
and then your team's going to go into that same building, and you better hope it's camp day every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's the only thing that's going to help.
That's what they should do. Rotate.
Yeah, camp days.
Or like southern part of Dade comes today.
Yep.
Northern part of Dade next week.
Bus in Palm Beach.
Then the southern part of Broward 1 week, and then the northern part of Broward another week, then the southern part of West Palm Beach, and the northern part, and then go down to Monroe County too, and treat them. And I think that you're onto something. Just invite schools from all over to come on over, and that's it.
Or as I said before, do like Inter Miami did for the outfield. Have people buy the seats and just put those up. So it looks like there's people out there when there's none. And just hope home runs don't hit somebody.
That's it. I like it. The owner just talks like they could be really good, and it's just not fair. And I looked at the team right. I had a guy reach out to me. Only one guy, because, of course, we're talking about the Marlins. Nobody really gives a shit about them. But some guy goes to me, "Oh, hey, I think the Marlins might be pretty good this year." And that's because you fall into this hype. You listen to the owner. And I immediately answered the guy, "Check back with me in July when you figured out that they don't have enough offense." Like I figured it out now in March that they don't have offense. But, it'll take some people a couple months to figure out, hey, they can't really score runs. Of course not. They don't have enough bats. And I like the trades they made, by the way. I love the kid they picked up from Minnesota. He can play, but it's still not enough. It's a problem. Yes.
Somewhat of an update in the Sean Kemp story.
Oh, okay. What do we got?
Thursday afternoon, Adam Faber, spokesman for the Pierce County Prosecutor's Office, said in an email statement Tuesday afternoon that no charges were immediately being filed against Kemp and that he was being released from jail pending further investigation.
Okay. Yeah, because some people say it's they stole something from him and that he was defending himself.
He has 2 licensed cannabis stores in Seattle, and it goes on some other stuff in here too.
See, now I can understand you staying fat with cannabis stores. Okay, that makes sense. You get the munchies. Okay, let's wait till everything comes in on Kemp, and then maybe we can actually, formulate I don't know what's real and what's Memorex. I just don't know. Neither do you. You know what I mean? So I don't want to pick on the guy if he's, maybe he was just defending himself. Like some of the stories say that they stole his phone or something and he tracked the phone down and the guy had his phone in the car and then the guy saw him and he shot at him and Kemp shot back.
This story's even more vague. I mean, this is why there's
Right.
so many different things. This is what this one says. Tacoma police said they arrested a 53-year-old man after shooting in a parking lot near the Tacoma Mall on Wednesday, but a spokeswoman, Thursday did not confirm whether that was Kemp. The shooting followed an altercation between two people and two vehicles. One car fled and a gun was recovered, police said. That's it.
Yeah. We got to wait. We don't know. Okay? We don't know. We have no idea. Maybe Kemp went crazy or maybe Kemp was just defending himself from some crazy person. We have no idea. We'll find out. I was all about the East-West Coast back then. Still listen to it today as my main music. And, of course, Bone from Cleveland. Bone, Thugs, and Harmony. Is that what you're talking about? Marlins are still, yes, Dolphin time. They are still around. Yes, if you go out in the ocean, you'll see them swimming. All the time. You can try to catch one, too. Big O, I took my daughter to the Marlins Braves game here in Atlanta. Jazz Chisholm, the only reason we went. Well, thank you, Devin, for it. Devin, thank you for the super chat. The best part about the Jazz Chisholm story is that we had idiots last year complaining about Jazz Chisholm. Like, seriously? Like, he's like one of the few reasons why you would watch the Marlins. He's like one of the few really good players on the team. He has a ton of personality. He's fun to watch.
That's the problem. The baseball unwritten rules. You can't have fun.
No, you can't have fun. I wish we had 8 Jazz Chisholms and a Sandy every night. Okay? And we're good. Give me a player like Jazz Chisholm all the time. Are you kidding me? And we had idiots complaining about him last year. And I'm like, are you serious? Your team sucks. The only reason I would watch them is for Sandy and for Jazz. Like, that's the reason why I'm watching the Marlins. So Jazz gets me to watch every night just to see what he does. And then obviously every 5 days, I'm going to marvel at Sandy. And we had idiots complaining about Jazz having too much color, too much pizzazz. Give me a break, dude. Baseball doesn't have enough color. That's the problem with baseball. We missed all the color. It's all gone. They take the fun out of the damn game. That's why you got no fans. That's why your fans are old and dying. It's freaking hilarious, dude. Baseball doesn't realize all their fans are dying and they can't find new ones. And why? Because you don't make your damn game fun. You know, young people want to have fun. And baseball players are, and I want as much Jazz Chisholm as possible, dude. Jazz is fun to watch. He's one of the only reasons why I'll be watching the Miami Marlins. Knowing that they're going to suck, knowing that they're not going to score a lot of runs, knowing that they're going to lose most of their games. But I'll be watching because Jazz will get me to watch, and Sandy will get me to watch, and the new second baseman will get me to watch. The kid they traded for, he's a player. He'll get on base. He'll help out a little bit. Thank you, Devin, for the super chat. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show at Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, you know what my favorite is? It's a Bitcoin donation. Like my man Isais made a Bitcoin donation yesterday. There's nothing like a Bitcoin donation, man. Love that. All right, baseball needs to bring back the Ricky Hendersons, the Tim Raines, of course, dude. Ozzie Smith, Joe Morgan, John Kruk, whatever, bro. There was all kinds of guys that were characters in baseball. It was fun, man. And bring back Billy Martin, for Christ's sake. Yes. It's baseball. God. Last year, that drove me crazy when they were picking on Jazz Chisholm. Drove me crazy. Like, seriously, we're going to pick on one of the only guys that we want on the team. Anyway, we're out of here. We thank Robert Jones. If you missed the Dolphins starting left guard and also filling in at right guard in a key moment late in the season, Alan Poupart, Andy Behrens, Steve Calabro, we thank all of them for joining us. You can rewind and check it out, or if not, Sean Stanley will be posting those audio clips and video clips, any rants and rip jobs and all kinds of good stuff. You can find it there on our website, on our YouTube page. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Thank you very much out there. And hit the notification bell. That way you know every time we're on, a crypto show goes on, the wrestling show goes on, you will know because you hit the notification bell and you'll get that warning on your phone, and they'll tell you that we are broadcasting. We are live. We'll see you tomorrow morning, live from Caneswear in Davie. All right, we'll be out there 10 to 1, and I've got a surprise for you tomorrow morning. You might want to tune in. It'll be pretty cool. See you tomorrow.